xalaat parce que original materials la ne dama ne yéen ñi nga xam ne yéen a doon xalaat naka la fan la ak foo koy amee si Jamman's Real Glamour rek nga ko amee fépp fu waay nekk rek ñu indil la ko si sa bunti néeg si sa bunti kër yow su dee yaa ngi Europe bul xalaatati dara call ñu rek ñu waxtaan ak yow ba juboo sa piis si sa bunti néeg dama ne Jamman's Real Glamour mi ne duma am bitik de déedéet man si askan bi laa nekka foo leen ma woo rek ma tax.
Jamman's Real Glamour xeeti piis boo xalaat amal na leen ko fii lu si mel ni Facebook taka peinture Polman VIP batik Instagram WhatsApp xanaay wax day jee.
Jamman's Real Glamour yëngu nañ de askan bi yëgu leen ko kon ma yëgal leen
782 5587 wala 299 2967 ba tey nga email ñu jambamfatou@gmail.com.
Jamman's Real Glamour Jamman's Real Glamour Jamman's Real Glamour.
Gambian Talent TV, hidup kong karole puan, ti you like Gambia. Gambian Talent TV, hidup kong kakao fosa, ti you like Gambia. Gambian Talent TV, hidup kong believe. You like Gambia, the barang Gambian Talent TV, in the pale kumbelinge, you like Gambia, the barang Gambian Talent TV, the chirkaro lempuar, kanyan indi root.
Karasu Properties and Investment Limited, ye can also dale lamen Karawan, 20 by 20. Jiobeje, Kurangabeje. Nin sunkaro bunya na la horomo kang iba wafila $200,000 cash. Ika fumim fane mortgage ka domon ninjo kata fukari woro ibo wafila $250,000. Kairosu Properties and Investment Limited ibal content the sunkaro. Kairosu Properties. Link us and we make you a home builder.
Iba kuriya munna nafate kuriyala. Iba jauya munna nafate jauya labi. Iba kuriya munna nafate kuriyala. Nafigi la sila manja kula bambali la sila manja. Uya fala la sila manja ngomari masale bokelela. Nafigi la sila manja ja kula bambali la sila manja. Uya fala la sila manja muna ngomari masale bokelela. Yo Gambia ntalam albadi malam nena jeli suso ntele bari janto bi Gambian talent show mamo be tantola mal jayla albadi malam the queen of manding nena jeli suso the golden voice wow mbal tantola mbal jayla bake balale ko album o kanale December on the Benjamin Hall akana fo mo ko mashallah Gambian talent show.
So it's yours.
Because we had the Gambia journalist called Fernando Sila. We are journalists of yes, sir. Cookie there, cookie. Hey, you get all right. Yalla moy bour rek. Yeah, Jammeh, when he said, I reject the results in totality, some journalists went back. They were standing at the border, but they went back. La ilaha illallah, ñun man dema. Bepare, suma mam sose bi munema. He, iko yaya balantale ni ala ni kilate. Ñina na bentel kere soba na ñimbanko kanje. So, my name is Alaji Mohammed. And he is Alaji Bora. We do comedy, but actually, sometimes it's not only about making people laugh. It's saying the fact. The Gambian journalist fraternity, to me, they are the backbone of this country. You people have been strong, you've been staunch, you stand on your ground. We all know to survive a dictator is not easy. But you keep trying, you keep pushing. So to me, this democracy we are enjoying today, every Gambian owe it to you people. So clap for yourself. The likes of Sadio Barrow, if you see Sadio Barrow reporting today and saying, well, I don't care, I don't worry anymore. Democracy is here. But those days at GRTS, when you give a script to somebody, you say, la ilaha illallah, man madam readly. Ya Jammeh approve ko, man ma read ko. That means peace. There is no price for peace. So let's enjoy our peace and let's love each other and respect each other. And I'm seeing Horija Balage Barrow here. You break my heart. You broke my heart. Because I was saying, you know, Alaji Barrow is a very good friend of mine, but I stopped calling him because of Horija. The day I had that Alaji Horija Futula, they said Truth and Reconciliation Commission, but not Truth and Marriage Commission. Huh? And you know, to be honest, because I was watching TRRC because of Horija, I was saying, okay, she's single. But the day she got married, I said, forget this Mbojo TRRC. And I was a big fan. The TRRC is the best. I used to complain, but now when they are saying TRRC, I say, they should even stop this TRRC. Jealousy is at its peak. So Horija, please give a round of applause to her. She's super intelligent. And then finally from me, before I hand the mic, you know, Gambian women, they've been brave. Our mothers are great. And you see this minister sitting here, the directors, they are sitting here, but most of them are afraid of their wives. Yeah, I was so surprised. I went to a minister's house, and this minister, whenever he's with Barrow, he's so strong. You know, atakela jang, Gambia jang, Barrow be mela janne, Barrow dina fiyaga, so len ko bugu touches niya. I went to this guy's house. The wife was sending him for pobar. This is very rhetoric. You see them at work, they are very strict with their staff. If you don't do this work, I'm going to sack you. But go at home, they are, you know, women have the power. Women, they have the power, they have the strength. It is only a woman, you will shout at her. You'll come and say, baby, come on. I saw you talking to that nigger. What is wrong with you? And then she will give her devil voice. Baby, are you shouting at me? You don't kill, you finish. That's the time you will see the fool go down. Baby, I didn't mean it. It's just a joke. You know, the same woman, you know, when you're watching movie, there are some things you see, you think it is applicable in this environment, but no. I watched a love movie. It's an American movie. You know, this guy had a problem with the girlfriend, and then when he was closing from work, he just entered a supermarket and get a flower, common flower. You know, he used that as a leverage to talk to the wife so that the girlfriend will come down. It's a girlfriend, in fact. And then when he went and then knocked the door, the girl see the flower, said, baby, I'm on my knees, forgive me. And then that's the end of that problem. So I thought this will work in Gambia. I had a problem with my girlfriend. I said, okay, let me go and get flour. It's a different story. I got the flour, I came home and then I knocked their door. She opened it, I said, baby, ngiri yalla balal ma indil na la flour bi. Mu ne ma, yow ya ñaka jom. Nit yi ñu ngi jëndal seen jàng ay iPhone, yow yang ma indil flour. Hana ay béy la am fi.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are watching and listening to us from. This is your favorite show coming from the Gambian Talents TV. Nyohobai show, Dilen ko indil every week. Pa Usman Diouf behind the microphone. I am glad to be here again one more time. I apologize for late start of the show. Yesterday I was here. I had an interview with Stone Man, the Gambian Stone Man, who is claiming his image is on the Gambian Dalasi. For those of you that were following us on YouTube, on Facebook, that was the interview we had with Stoneman. It was a very interesting discussion. Stoneman made a lot of revelations here, accusations and allegations, especially, he accused Honorable Halifa Sallah of the PDOIS of using his symbol of the pyramid without properly defining it. He accused the former Director General of the National Center for Arts and Culture, Mr. Sidibe, of taking the first money he made at the Wasu Stone Circle. According to him, he made about $86,000, and 81,000 was being stolen or taken away by Mr. Sidibe, which of course he gave him a receipt of $5,000 because he made 86,000. He talked a lot about the Minister of Tourism, current Minister of Tourism, Hamad Ba, the former Vice President and Secretary General of the Gambia and Secretary General of the UDP, lawyer Usainu Dabo, who happened to witness his marriage back in the days. According to him, lawyer Dabo charged him $2,000, which back then was a lot of money. That is what he paid in the 80s. In 1982, that is what he paid for his fare ticket to Europe, and lawyer Dabo charged him the same amount of money to witness his wedding with his young wife back then, who was from Germany. We thank you all for watching and for listening. Today we are back in the Nyohobai show. For those of you who are following us on Facebook, if you want to see the images we'll be showing, if you want to see the people we'll be interviewing, you can actually log on to our YouTube channel right now, where we are streaming live and direct and professionally. Whoever is listening to us, whoever is watching us, whether on WhatsApp, on YouTube, on Instagram, Twitter, wherever, we salute you all. We are going to be talking today about the Gambia Press Union Award. It is the 4th year since the GPU, the Gambia Press Union, started this award. It has been growing. The environment was not very conducive. The award, bottom line, was not even very well known among Gambians. It wasn't very popular. The journalists, of course, as we are seeing in the TRRC, last week and this week, it is the journalists' turn. They are testifying before the TRRC, and we are hearing the stunning revelations. We are hearing the shocking revelations, the things that have happened to the journalists, the things that Gambian journalists have to go through. They are the most brutalized, they are the most tortured and most traumatized institution in the Gambia. Without a doubt, hearing the things that are coming out of the TRRC, we salute our colleagues in the media, those who have held it down in the Gambia at the time. Now, going through all of these things over the years, people started it. Journalists have been killed. Journalists have been tortured. Journalists have been exiled. Journalists went missing in the 22 years that former President Yahya Jammeh was there. A lot of the people who have been exiled came back to the Gambia and started to serve in different capacities. Some continued their practice, and it goes on. Journalism in the Gambia is at a crossroad this minute. A lot has happened. A lot continue to happen. Now, the Gambia Press Union, just like any other professional body that is mandated to take care of the welfare and the affairs of its members, wanting to recognize those members, wanting to appreciate those members, wanting to show love to those members, wanting to set standards, wanting to encourage people, young people, to get into the field of journalism. Organizing an award is definitely a sneak one on. It's something that the Gambia needs, because anywhere and everywhere else you go around the world, these things do happen. Like I said, it is 4 years since it has started. A lot of things have been happening since then, and now that it is getting recognized, a lot of Gambians are a lot more interested thanks to social media. To a great extent, social media is playing a big role on this because of the controversy that has happened, and a lot of things that has happened with regards to the award. A lot of people are beginning to find out, okay, who is GPU? Even some of the posts we put out, people are asking, okay, who is GPU? What is GPU all about? And thanks to the TRRC too, a lot of people are beginning to know, because the president of the GPU, not the president, the secretary of the GPU, actually executive secretary, has appeared before the TRRC and gave a very good testimony, and it made a lot of people start to know, okay, well, there exists something like a GPU. Yes, it does exist, and they are the body that is responsible for taking care of the welfare of the journalists. They held their fourth annual award ceremony this past Friday rather. This brought a lot of controversy. We'll be talking about those things. Some of the things that the GPU has been accused of is bias, whether they are the ones directly, I mean the GPU secretariat and the GPU board, are they the ones directly responsible for organizing this award? Are they responsible for it? There has been a lot of attack and backlash on the GPU. Some people are in agreement with the GPU. Some people are in support of the GPU, while others condemn them, while others think that the GPU has not done right and are not doing right, and they think it is not fair for this to happen to the GPU. Well, amidst of all those allegations, we will be having the president of the GPU, who is Sheriff Bojang Jr., will be talking to him about the award and what happened during the award and everything else surrounding it. We will also be talking to 3 other people during this show. Musa Ceesay is actually the leader and the chairperson who is responsible for organizing this award. We'll be talking to Musa Ceesay as well. In addition to that, multiple award winner, Mr. Mustapha Swandi Jammeh, who of course bagged 4 awards, will be talking to him as well. And we will also talk to Lamin Jai of the Fatou Network in a little bit. Yéen a ngi déglu Nyohobai show alka Nyohobai show leen la mooy Kabwali Gambian Talents TV ñi ngi koy defee saa su nekk rek. We greet you all in the spirit of Gambianism once again. Follow us, don't go anywhere. For those of you that are following us through Facebook, like I said earlier, you can log onto our YouTube channel. I have just shared the link there. That way you will be able to hear and see the people we are talking to. It's the Nyohobai show, and Pa Usman Diouf is your host. Thank you for listening and following us. We will take a quick break. When we return, of course, we will go ahead with Mr. Lamin. We will go ahead with Sheriff Bojang Jr., who is the president of the Gambia Press Union. Stay tuned and don't go anywhere. We will be right back. And this is the Nyohobai show from the Gambian Talents TV. Don't go anywhere. Once again, you are watching and listening to the Gambian Talents TV. This is the Nyohobai show. Pa Usman Youth behind the mic. Let's continue watching the events that took place over the weekend while we try to reach Sheriff and them. The GPU award, of course, some comedians were there. We saw earlier Alaji Bora and Muhammad entertaining the crowd. We will continue to play that for you. You enjoy that while we, of course, try to reach out to Sheriff and the rest of the team. Let's enjoy Alaji Bora. And for those of you that are watching on Facebook, if you want to
especially
see, you can log
our
on
moms,
to,
fine, they are good, but these young guys of this generation, they are too dangerous because they are romantic. They're romantic. They will take you to certain position. You will even use the money of your company, and then they fire you. Imagine a village boy like me. When I was immediately from the village, I came from the village, I met one Wolof girl. I said, aha, no more mutala saying. Not knowing she was the one who got me. A fool like me. La ilaha illallah. And then it was Sunday Beach. It was time for Sunday Beach. And then I said, baby, I'll take you for Sunday Beach. It turns out to be the Devil's Beach. And then I said, okay, no, I will take you to the supermarket. And then you can take whatever you want on the line, whatever. I was having only $500. We entered. Me, Mandinka man. Nobody called me sweetheart. She was using all acronyms to sweetheart. She says, Daddy, jalna ice cream. Man, no problem, jalal bobo. I calculate 85 minus 500. No problem. Shortbread. You know, when she said shortbread, it's a type of biscuit, but at that time, I don't know, I just think it was maybe tapalapa or sand food. I said, okay, take it, no problem. Not knowing that shortbread is $95. I said, tapalapa sand food, it was $7. Take it. And then said, there is burger here, nkai alandi. Te communist man sumaya de bugali, nkai inte farmer ne na man burger do. Teko. Okay, now I don't want to take much of the time. I'll hand the mic to Alaji Bora. So thank you, sir. All right, okay. We have, my uncle is here, Mr. Silla. It's my uncle, and then he's a very good man. And then I guess that's tough. Tough is not only building the Gambia, but it's building the world. So we should support our own people, you know. Tough is a way of bouncing you anyway. I'll come back. This is a way of getting to know you more. I'm Mohammed, okay? I'm not saying this for free. Bombs, we got techniques. Tough, you are the best in this world. Why I'm saying, yeah, my mother, why? So Boraski, your floor is yours.
Assalamu alaikum. Muhammad tonya forma ndi abari mu wuru balti. Yes. Yalong this boy ntela na kata anka dokuoke. Bar ngalon ko jama bi jammina men fola soto kola fo wole Muhammad nyol soto. Barmbe Mr. Silla kontonda folo. Soto kola fo nay moma ka garaw bakela Muhammad nyol wuluta saral yonne. Nka Freetown birin kelo mamanta Muhammad nyol la soto muruta koma jawara ya kata aye fintindi nang aye nati Gambia nenne Muhammad findida nanya Freetonian sunkurol je kanamwe na Kono Street o Bo Street nga Muhammad nga militara diamond nyine la saralion sarahulol ni jahankol birol yoko do so ye fonyo aku kamfo la ni aje taka ka aku kamfo e mankudu teje. But Muhammad amanya siata buka tonya fo sunkutole. There was a day narata penjami. A lot of stage kai English for slang for Gambia kyoldung. Fake life dia bata mole. E ka fo dole big man wolte big man they are small man. Muhammad tata angale kan fire fajita stage kan sunkuto kai my bro the way you speak I appreciate it. Kai you will appreciate something else. Akai Muhammad dinanyo study ngai muso ngai ko ntamalla wala Musa denak sinegi olu malolo etane Muhammad la study je ale angale kan ali to karanna baral be fendo karanna sunkuto nye Muhammad jikinda kay ko sonde wularo mina Muhammad tata box ay soto dum pisot ngatara be train nan kay boy mu nekata ko nyambe exercise la Gambia kewdo no muso kay mbaka na jareta la ta bilge don to kodo mbe siri mbe atala peron ko to nyankumo na ta nyankumo konoma bira rido ma Muhammad bata ko min kay musu nyankuma konoma la nyinde foyno fana be kano leta la konoma bay tonya ngapita bakele bare tonya surwa kambandil ni be kesiro le kadiyam bakel olof yi ñomu na ciis alaji manka hamna dara sisa surwa kambano ngatara be surwa sunkuto rap la ba ciis la akay gis nga tax bi suma bay boko sam njalaka kay hay olof dang koy dik ay man wa kawlak kon olof dang koy dik kay sampa ñaar la ni sila waxe suma bay mo sampa ne bi dang ko waral la ndax sa bay maçon la wala mo gëne xalisam ci mo Gambia sunguri neuli ala ko kambalo fa bak hana yen hamut ñu bari ñi ngi dawal fi moto momun ko ni nara ni moto parta don koy ko ID moto bi suma bay moko mom wala koy moto bi mako mom ita ñinin kala dafa melni re suma la waxe talal sa loxo ma ñaan la nga na amin ya rabbi bala ma door ñaan da nga wara jël sa time suma la waxe na yalla nga de nga na amin nak da nga wara bay ñaan bi ñu door tedu bar sura kambanel ni be cesirole ka dangerous back dawo se ya 2011 nga sunkuto case surwala mu ñenti ka fay ana Juuf lom nga ce 6 months mbanoma nga case ama reply banna salo sita ko nya nanguna berin tobaski sita ko nya nanguna ko alhamdulillah rabbil alamin na santana yalla ya rafa wotu monta ma santana yalla ke nde santa musubanaru leke banna sita suta ko la ko nya dadi kay yes momi akonya fone kanin kay mang si digi lali way lahirallah wotu mo mang si digi dof akonya xam nga luma bugan kay xawma ko xana nga wax akonya man ben dal la buga ak ci ak top ala fonya tumo mi nen kay mu jolleti akonya man banjul lay jende suma yere kay ndesa.
Yes, good morning sir.
Yes, good brother, what's up?
Oh, evening. Is that Sheriff? Yes, is that Sheriff?
Okay.
Is that Sheriff?
Yeah, your line is breaking a bit. It's not very clear.
Okay, this is Pa Usman. How are you?
Yeah, I know. Osman.
Yes, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great, you know.
Is that Sheriff?
Hmm?
Is it Sheriff?
No, you're talking to Sekou.
Oh, Sekou, okay. Oh, well, sorry, yes. How are you, Sekou? I was trying to get hold of Sheriff first, actually, before you. Yes, I apologize about that. Yes, I was trying to get hold of Sheriff. I will call you right back. Oh, yes, 1 minute. Let me talk to Sheriff and I will call back. I apologize about that. Right?
You have this number.
Yes, all right. Thank you. Yes. Sorry about that. I apologize about that. I will try Sheriff again to actually get hold of him. We are trying to reach Sheriff Jr. this minute, this second to talk to him. That was Sekou of Kerr Fatou, who backed the 4 awards that we were talking about earlier. Whoever is listening to us, wherever you are listening to us from, obviously Sheriff is in the Gambia and we are here trying to get hold of him. All the people that we are trying to reach are on standby. Sometimes we have connection issues, and please bear with me as we try to maneuver around this. You are watching and listening to the Nyohobai show on the Gambian Talents TV. We'll try Sheriff one more time and we'll be right back. This is the Nyohobai show on Gambian Talents TV. It's your host now. And also reach out to Sheriff Juno. Yes, that was Sheriff Bojang that we are trying to reach right there. Yes, Sheriff is actually back on the line. Hello, Sheriff. Hello, Sheriff. How are you, sir? Oh, okay. Just be with me 1 second here. I am trying to do multiple things at the same time. Yes, how are you? How are you, sir? Hello, Sheriff. It's like we lost Sheriff there, but then we're trying to get hold of him again on the line. Hopefully he calls back here. Hopefully Sheriff called back. I mean, you're having network issues at this point. We apologize for the inconvenience. Hopefully the others will not be like this. Wherever you are watching and listening to us from, this is the Nyohobai show on the Gambian Talents TV. Pa Usman behind the line.
No problems.
Yes, Sheriff, how are you?
I'm good, I'm okay. How are you?
Oh, I am good, thank you. Welcome. You are live on the Nyohobai show. Hello, Sheriff. Oh, Sheriff, it's like we lost Sheriff there. Hopefully he calls back. I mean, we are having network issues. Sheriff is in the Gambia and I am here all the way in Seattle. We are having some network difficulties here. We apologize for that inconvenience. We are trying to get hold of him again. Wherever you are watching and listening to us from, this is the Nyohobai show from the Gambian Talents TV. Pa Usman Juf is your host. This minute we are trying to reach Sheriff Bojang Jr, who is the president of the Gambia Press Union. We have seen all the different opinions that are being shared on social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, different people giving their take on the recently concluded GPU award. Yes, we have also seen people saying the award was not fair, the way it was organized wasn't fair, and some people thought that there has been favoritism, especially on the side of Kerr Fatou, who supposedly won a lot of awards. Does Sheriff has anything to do with this? Sheriff is back on the line. Hello, Mr. Bojang.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, how are you, sir?
Hello, I
yes.
can hear you.
Yes, how are you? Unfortunately, the line is breaking there again. That is Sheriff. Let's try to call him direct line. We'll try to do everything possible to get this for you guys. Let's try to call Sheriff direct line here. You are watching and listening to the Nyohobai show from the Gambian Talents TV. Pa Usman Juf is your host. And right now we are trying to reach Sheriff Bojang Jr, who is the president of the Gambia Press Union. Hopefully Sheriff picks up and we are able to talk to him. Hello, Sheriff.
Hello?
Yes, Sheriff, how are you?
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I think the internet is fluctuating. I'm good, because I can hear you clearly now. I think you're calling me direct.
Okay, I hope you do something about the network, or is that not within your mandate?
Yeah. I'm in the office, so they're uploading videos. I think that's why the internet is.
Okay. Yes, okay, real quick. Thank you for talking to us, Sheriff. You are live on the Gambian Talents TV. And our listeners and viewers are following you from around the world. The GPU just finished organizing the 4th annual GPU award. There has been a lot of talk and speculations about it. It is not fair. You have a hand in it. You have a say in it. There are a few things that you or the GPU have been accused of. One is awarding the current minister and Attorney General of the Gambia, Tambedou, with an award. A lot of people criticize the GPU for awarding Tambedou, that he has not even done anything or has not done much. What did Tambedou do to deserve this award that was given to him?
So I think this is a genuine criticism. This will be debated, and people will debate about whether it's right or wrong. But for us, it was in good faith. As a union, we discussed, even among ourselves, we discussed this. I'm a president, and then I have a secretariat that work independently of the executive, me and my executive, because we employ them and we trust them and we let them do their work. So when they take decision, they bring it to the executive level, and then or to the presidency level, and then we will discuss, we will look at the merits and demerits. So what was put forward as far as the Tambedou thing is concerned, the Tambedou award was concerned, and which I wholeheartedly agreed with my secretariat and the Secretary General, is that, okay, Tambedou here is a guy who came in as Attorney General. Under him, before he came and before this government came, ECOWAS court rulings were there for journalists to be compensated. Of course, Jammeh never ever respected that court. Jammeh told the ECOWAS court to go to hell, would not even represent, have representative there, lawyers for that matter, in most of the cases. And when Tambedou came, when this government came, we know we've been talking, we've been meeting Tambedou behind the scenes, we've been engaging, we've been, having a lot of discussions. And from day one, his commitment was that these compensations be paid to journalists. Chief Mane, Data Haidara's family, Chief Mane's family, the 4 journalists, Fatou Mane, Fatou Kamara, Lamin Fati, and Alaji Job. So his post. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, so he's pushed this so hard. I will try to be fast because I realize that you're calling me direct. So he pushed this so hard. He's been pushing this so hard. Still, there is a pending case, which is Musa Ceesay. And luckily, and I'm glad to say that negotiations are to reopen for that so that Musa Ceesay is paid what the ECOWAS court asked the Gambia government to pay him. Now, beside these compensations, we have laws, we have issues that with the GPU as a union, we are fighting. The GPU as a union, we are meeting the stakeholders, the government apparatus in particular, to discuss. Among them is to have the freedom of expression law in the country. Each time, in all the documents, in all our engagements, in all our fights to have some laws, repealed and have some laws in place, Tambedou has always been there. This is behind the scenes. I can understand people's agitation and people's queries, which are all genuine. For us,
Sheriff, it's been 2 years. I mean, the media laws, not much has been seen, tangibly seen out there. The criminal code is still there. We have the laws, libel laws, and all of these things that were still there. We understand that the GPU is engaging with Tambedou, but 2 years getting to 3 years is not 3 days. When the government, a lot of people are arguing that when the government came, the laws that they wanted to change, especially the age limit, etc., they did push those ones. So why or how come those ones are still not done and the GPU can still award Tambedou?
You are right. And then, of course, I'm not going to hold brief for Tambedou. I think for me at an executive level, it's just based on our discussions with him, is based on his commitment that he's shown us since I understand it's 2 years. This is myself, I'm concerned about that. The government, why is it that still some obnoxious laws are in place and they are still not out of the way when the government's got powers to do that? Of course, not just Tambedou, but the whole government apparatus, including the president. There has to be commitment from everybody. Like I said, behind the scenes, Tambedou has been showing a lot of goodwill. Tambedou has been, doing his own bit to make sure that we have, I'm not sure that we will have all the laws, but GPU will not relent. But then our decision to award him was based on that, and not just what we feel he has done so far or what he stood up for the GPU, but way forward. We are very hopeful that with Tambedou, we can push for some of these laws that we want out of the way. And then that fight will continue. It's not in the hands of him, but then whoever it is, we're going to fight. But this is it. Like I said, people will every award that happened, not just in the country, in the Gambia, but everywhere else in the world. I myself have been in a lot of awards, including the CNN Journalist of the Year award. There is always a lot of controversy and stuff, and this is not an exception as far as the Tambedou one is concerned.
Okay.
So people have genuine reasons to query and stuff, but this is our position.
Yes, people are saying that fair enough if you're going to award him based on all of those things that he did, but you went above and beyond. There are people who stood for the GPU, like our Ceesay Sabali, who represented the
but
GPU
we awarded,
through
but for your information,
I am coming. Yes, I watched it.
Yeah.
You awarded our Ceesay
Yeah, Howard was awarded.
Yes,
Howard didn't.
Yeah, I am coming. I am coming. The standing ovation was done for Tambedou, and none was happened. Only few people stood up for our Ceesay. But then you guys called for a standing ovation for Tambedou. Basically, he was given treatment from what is being.
Yeah, but I don't think that has to do with anything. I mean, you can say people are human and stuff. Our Ceesay Sabali still is GPU is our lawyer on a daily basis. It's not like you do one for the other. You can see that at the end the microphone, everything changed. You know, another MC came to the studio. Look at Femi Falana, for example, not just our Ceesay Sabali. We can talk about the ECOWAS court when nobody outside the Gambia was there for the Gambia. I remember as far back as 2005, Femi Falana was there, the Nigerian lawyer who came in. Femi Falana was the one who took the cases of Musa Ceesay and Chief Mane to ECOWAS court. He was the one who was putting pressure. So we didn't do standing ovation. I think these are just little issues. It didn't say anything about somebody is important or stuff. Okay. So I think maybe we need to talk about relevant, important, pertinent issues and not try to build mountain in the sky. Okay. But then for Tambedou's award, I can understand totally people's frustration. And as a union, we are cognizant of this, and we assessing everything. Like I said,
so who chose? Who chose the Tambedou? Who made this decision from some of the things?
No, this is collective. So you know how unionism works. I cannot stand here and say, "Oh, I'm president. I'm just a ceremonial figure. It's voluntary. It's this." No, it is collective responsibility, especially at the head. Anything that happened, like any other institution, if anything happens in this government today, Barrow is the head of the government. I'm the head of the GPU. It doesn't matter whether some of the decisions I'm aware of them or not, or it's late, before I got to know them, or they are even done without me being aware. That doesn't matter. I am the head, and my job is, unfortunately, to take any negativity, to take any negative thing that is thrown at the GPU. But also on the lighter note, my job is also to take positive stuff. Sometimes people praise me for things that I've not done. Okay. The head of the GPU, who runs the day-to-day affair of the GPU, is the Secretary General and the Secretariat. Okay. But that doesn't matter. I am the president. If there is any bashing, if there is any criticism and anything, it should come to me first.
Okay,
I accept that.
Fair enough. We move on away from the Tambedou, our Ceesay issue. Another thing that you have been criticized for is people are labeling the GPU to be, in fact, somebody just wrote on the comments not long ago, said UDP, that you are UDP because your ladies, the GPU ushers at the award, were all putting on yellow, and that you guys should know better than choosing yellow to actually for your ushers to wear in getting people in there. Huh?
Yeah. I'm so sorry. So your question is serious, and I'm not here to disrespect your question or anything. But then I think we need to be serious, and we need to talk about serious issues. Not from you, but I saw those comments. I mean, what does that got to do with anything? I don't know. I think personally, if I am to do this, or if I have to make that decision and stuff, maybe I can think not because yellow or green or something is. Look at it. The head of the main organizer of the event, Khadija Jawara, who is the main organizer, who knows the A to Z of this event, the award event, came in green. Very APRC, head to toes green. That's what she came in. So actually, even me myself, when I got to the hotel with her, and then I saw like 30 minutes before time, because we were rushing to arrange things at the last minute. When I saw the yellow, I mean, my mind never went to GPU, UDP or anything, because I know GPU is the most diverse union you can find here, organization. People are all over. And then I don't know of anybody in the GPU whose work, it's easy for Gambians to sit and accuse somebody, oh, you are this, you are that. But what you look at is our work. I don't know of anybody in the GPU who can, and people can point and say, oh, I've seen his journalism, or he's leaning on this party. Or for me personally, my journalism didn't start. I've been journalist for almost all my life. I work for institutions all over the world. You know, nobody in the Gambia can pick a work that I've done and said, oh, Sheriff is UDP. It's easy to do. Of course, you know, people link people with it. So for me, when I saw them in yellow, I thought it was weird. I didn't think of UDP, but me and Sekou, we were the people, and I laugh. I'm like, who made this choice? Whose decision is this? Not on political, but I thought that it was so weird and stuff, because if you look at cinematography, when you have ushers and things like that, yellow in film studies, yellow is supposed to be bad luck in the Western world. So when I saw it, I'm like, but I'm thinking they could have done red or black. Black would have been so amazing in the hall. But when I saw them, I'm like, this is so, and that is because myself, Bausman, that's why anybody who knows me, if you follow my photos, people mock me. Everything I wear is either black or gray. I'm not good at wearing these very sparky colors. So I was
and I will go there with you right now. I'm showing a picture of you and Kerr Fatou of Kerr Fatou with your gray, your gray haftan. So it's good you just mentioned that. We go to that. Now, yes, the other thing that you have been
very weird.
Of,
and look at the comment.
Yes,
look at the gray. The first time I wear the gray, you look at people, they were so laughing. Each time I wear anything which is not gray or black, which is not, gray or black, people laugh. But my whole life is gray.
Okay.
Because I don't know how to wear green. I think
now
it's only
you have been
young guy who knows how to wear these things.
Yes, you have been accused of being biased. There has been a lot of backlash, and until today, we are seeing a lot of comments about how this award people were nominated and stuff. Kerr Fatou came and won the online TV. Kerr Fatou still have their staff, Mustapha Swandi Jammeh, who actually won for 4 different awards. And people say it's unfair that Sheriff had a big connection with Kerr Fatou. And obviously, too, it was only Kerr Fatou among the online platforms that covered the event as well. So there are several things that people add up that made people believe that, this is very biased and unfair.
Bausman, I'm so glad. I'm so glad you. I think this is a question that I should respond to, and I'm so glad you raised this question. First of all, let's tackle this one after the other. You talk about people talk about my connection to Fatou Toure. I cannot be more connected to Fatou Toure than Sheriff Bojang Standard newspaper. Sheriff is my blood. Sheriff is my brother. No single person from the Standard won this award. Nobody. First of all, so you talk about connection. I'll come one after the other. Fatou Toure, of course, is my friend. I mean, like everybody else. I'm from the Gambia. It's a small country. Yourself, you are my friend. Your staff at your office are my friends.
But people say you are a shareholder at Kerr Fatou. But before the establishment of Chronicles, you were very much involved with Kerr Fatou. People say you are a shareholder at Kerr Fatou.
Can you repeat that?
Some people say that you are. Some people say that you are a shareholder at Kerr Fatou.
Oh, I wish. Seriously, I think they're earning a lot of money. I so wish I'm a shareholder at Kerr Fatou. I so wish. Then I'll be really good. But I'm a rival to Kerr Fatou like everybody else, professional rivals. Look, if you look at the Chronicle, we're going in. I'm not a shareholder. I don't even know how Kerr Fatou started. Fatou is my friend the same way everybody. Haruna Drame. All of these people are my friends. I'm a Gambian. We friends like everybody else. Even Fatou Camara. We were friends. We were always friends. I don't know whatever happened, but we were always, I'm friends with everybody. But let's go to the ingredient of it. I mean, so first they ask how this happened. Bausman, I knew the winners of this award 30 minutes before the commencement of the program. And this, I have nothing to prove to anybody. But I knew because I had to sign the certificates. I think when people are disgruntled, I'm not going to respond to, this is GPU affair. Anybody can say anything. But if a journalist are complaining, I think I will, and I don't know how many journalists complain. I know Fatou Camara put something out. I mean, and rightly so. It's her right, it's her freedom. Nobody should seize it. Her freedom to speak, But then what I can say, so I'll come. GPU, these awards got nothing. Whoever won or loses, This award had nothing to do with me as a person. I didn't decide anything. GPU, the secretariat level, not executive. I'm a ceremonial figure. So the secretariat set up an award committee headed by Musa Ceesay, I think, and Hadija. So the other members, some of them I've never heard of them. There is something called Kurang, I've never heard of him. I never saw him until, I think at the ceremony, they said he was working at the university and stuff. He's a lecturer. So you have other people. So those people are the ones who appointed the jurors, the judges. The judges are first, the chair of the panel is Agnes Tomasi. I don't know whether Agnes is the station manager of WADR, veteran journalist and media consultant based in Dakar. And you have S.O. Williams. S.O. Williams works at the BBC, and S.O. Williams also does the a program, this in the weekly interview program on Hot FM. I think everybody knows S.O. Williams. Yes. Then you have Aisha Dabo. Aisha Dabo is a Gambian media UN consultant based in Dakar. And I think the fourth one is Hasum Ceesay from Arts and Culture, who through the past 2 years was the chair, or year before last year was the chair of the panel. So the other panelists, I don't know them. I don't know who they are. I think these are the ones who came to the award. So the ones that didn't come to the award ceremony, I don't know. So this committee is the one who people send their entries to. So this is not about GPU or the judge. This independent judge is giving Kerr Fatou. By the way, Kerr Fatou didn't win. It's Mustapha as a journalist and stuff. So these are the ones who went through everything. I'm sure S.O. Williams and Agnes Tomasi never heard of Mustapha or never heard of. There are people, QTV, I think they won 3 awards or something. So these are the ones who selected. Who said who the winners are. So unless you send in your entry, you cannot win. So
but then somebody's asking about that. Why would people apply for this? The GPU couldn't have used a better criteria or a better way of people being nominated. No. Why do people have to apply?
Pausman, this is the international standard. Imagine if GPU is to sell. So you don't apply. What you do is they say, okay, award for political reporting. So who have covered political reports, so you send your entry. This is the standard. I sent my entry. I was finalist for CNN African Journalist of the Year for my work as covering Ebola. That was it. For my not even covering Ebola, but my documentary on Ebola. I won the Radio for Peace Building Africa Award for my documentary on rape in Senegal. So did nobody select to say you are the winner or something? It's your work, and the judges go through your work. Nobody at the GPU, I guess, nobody saw this work. Do you send it? And then it goes to the judges, and these judges, I don't know how long they took up nothing. I didn't know how they operate, but these are independent judges. S.O. Williams, Agnes, and all those, they're not affiliated with the GPU. I don't know if S.O. even knew where the GPU was before this. So these are the ones who decide. So for us is when they announce the winners, we clap like everybody else. As a president, I have nothing to do with it. Of course, like any other award, secretary, one of my board members. And Pausman, there is one thing you also need to know. I'm happy to tell you. So last year, I was not a president, but I think last year the biggest winner was Mustapha Dabo. Again, the same guy. But I don't remember if he was at Kerr Fatou. I think he was at the Standard. So last year, I was not president of the GPU. The biggest winner was Mustapha Dabo. So I think the past 2 years, and this one, Mustapha Dabo has always been winning. But I remember last year, I attended.
I will be talking to Mustapha briefly in a short while. But then a lot of people saying that this has to do with your beef with the Fatou Network. Not long ago, we saw you had an altercation with the Fatou Network reporter Lamin Gai, which of course I tried to reach you at the time to talk to you about, but you did not want to come on air, and I respected it. Obviously, it has surfaced again. People are attributing. Let me finish. People are attributing this issue.
With the GPU award. Of course, I had this. Everybody knew that. If there is one thing professionally I regret and I will always never be proud of, and it's one thing that will beat me always, it will be that Lamin Jai thing. There is no enmity, Pausma, even beside the GPU, even if I were around a GPU president, even before I was a GPU president. Nobody, no young journalist in this country would say Sheriff ever had a problem with me. It's just one instance after the other, exchanging ideas with them because I have the opportunity. It's not because anybody. But luckily, I went through editors. I had international exposure that I can share with people, and that they can share with me to what they experience.
Yeah, but people
so there is
shocked.
nothing
Yes,
between me. That happened. That was a problem.
It happened.
I came out. I apologized, and that's it. But what does that got to do with the GPU award?
Yeah, but you just said yes,
what?
but Sheriff, you just said a minute ago that you don't even know what happened between you and Fatou Camara. You used to be friends, and you don't even know what happened. Like, you apologized to Lamin.
Yeah.
Fatou Camara had put out two posts. Yesterday she put out one, today too she put out another one. I guess she must have been going through pressure from people who are saying that the Fatou network did not participate, and a lot of people believe that this has to do with your beef with them. People even question your genuineness as to whether your apology to Lamin Jai was genuine, because according to Fatou Camara's yesterday post, you had blocked both her and Lamin Jai. Is it true that you blocked these two people?
So I'm head of the GPU. I'm not going to go into anything, but that's why I have a platform. I'm a Gambian writer, and I'm a writer. Go on Facebook. It's my space. It's my wall. I can write anything. I can respond to anything, but I'm not going to go. I have a union to help run with my colleagues, every Gambian journalist. Nobody is excluded. I'm not going to talk about any personal stuff. This is my prerogative to talk about it or not. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to go that low. I want to talk about things that matter to the GPU. I'm not going to waste my time. Petty issue. But then what I can say is you mentioned the issue of whether they send Fatou networks and entries or not. For me, what I'm saying is I wouldn't know that. This is the issue. This is not my problem. This is not the issue. This is for the judges to decide. Whether somebody send entries or not, Omar Wali at Fatou Network, Omar is a friend. He's a protege. We always exchange ideas. We always exchange notes. Lamin Jai, we always did. We used to. But I can understand of course, if he doesn't want to, even accept the apology or something.
Did you block Lamin Jai and Fatou Camara?
Like whether
did you block
my stuff to Lamin Jai was genuine or something and stuff. I think these are personal stuff, and I'm not going to say, because I've seen what Fatou wrote. I mean, I don't know what sparked it, and so that's why I say we used to be friends. Okay. I saw what Fatou Camara wrote, but then, like I said, I could have gone on Facebook and responded. I have platform like anybody else, not just Facebook.
That is why I contacted you anyway, but that's why I contacted you. Sheriff, you as the head of the GPU, did you block? I mean, journalists, of course, are interested in what you do. You are an inspiration to a lot of young people or a lot of journalists, and you've won a lot of awards. And this is why Gambian journalists trusted you to be their president. Now, is it true that you are blocking people on social media who are actually practicing and who are supposed to be under you? Did you block Fatou Camara and Lamin Jai?
Can you repeat that? Did you ask whether I blocked somebody?
Yeah, Lamin Jai and Fatou Camara, to be specific, not somebody. Lamin Jai and Fatou Camara.
So let me say, for example, Facebook. It's not GPU Facebook.
Yes.
This is my say. Fatou Camara blocks so many people. It doesn't matter whether you are head of it, a GPU or something. When it comes to the GPU, it is GPU. When it comes to the GPU. So why would you continue? For example, I am never going to talk with Fatou Camara. I think she will not talk to me. I tried to reach out. Fatou Camara is not my enemy. Nobody is. My task is every day to see that Gambian journalists prosper. Because when one Gambian journalist get it wrong, it's not just, as president of the GPU, sometimes I'm sleeping, I don't even know about things. Bam, people comes. When one journalist writes something which is not factual, they come to me. Oh, you need to do something, this, that. When one government, even grammar problem, they come to me, ask if I can. Sometimes some of these things are not within the mandate of the GPU and stuff. So when it comes to things like that, as far as the GPU is concerned, Fatou Camara, maybe you should invite her. I invited
like a lot of them. I invited Fatou Camara. She told me that she's on her way traveling. She's not able to make it. I invited Fatou Toure. I'll be talking to
Lamin Jai in a little bit. You should.
I invited them.
I don't have any
but did you block them though? You still haven't told me. You still haven't told me though if you blocked Fatou Camara and Lamin Jai or not. Did you, yes or no? Did you block Fatou Camara and Lamin Jai?
I did. I did.
You did block them.
And in my private, I did. And in my private Facebook account like anybody else. In my private Facebook account. Why should that get to do with GPU or anything? It's very easy for people to sit around. You sit on the radio or you sit somewhere. Oh, you did this, you do that, you do that. People need to look at the bigger picture. First of all, I tried everything. Lamin Jai, maybe you should invite. Lamin Jai still we have nothing.
I'll be talking to Lamin Jai. Lamin Jai is watching. Lamin Jai is watching right now, and I invited Lamin Jai. I'll be talking to him afterwards. I'll be talking to Lamin Jai afterwards. Hello, Sheriff. It looks like we lost Sheriff right there. Let me try to get hold of him again. It looks like we lost him there. You are watching the Nyohobai show from the Gambian Talents TV. Pa Usman Diouf is your host. I was talking to Sheriff Bojang Jr., the president of the Gambia Press Union. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Let's continue to enjoy more of the GPU award. We are going to watch, of course, Tambedou receiving that award earlier while we try to reach Sheriff again. Don't go anywhere. For those of you that are watching, if you want to see on Facebook, I have shared a link earlier. If you want to see Sheriff Bojang, if you want to see the people, we will be talking to Lamin Jai in a little bit. If you want to see Lamin Jai equally, you can click on the link that I have shared there. This is the Nyohobai show on the Gambian Talents TV. I have just shared the link again one more time. I have seen your messages too for those of you that are actually commenting through Facebook. Vital Signs say jealousy between journalists, nothing in the Gambia will go. Abdurrahman Jamune, why should he resign just because he had a personal problem with another journalist? Hakanjai said this man is definitely a disgrace to be the GPU president. Landing Mendy said GPU is buying the attention of Tambedou. Shame and hypocrisy. Ñu ngi leen ay bëggee ci seen déglu ak seetaan bu rafet fu ñu waay di dégloo rek fu ñu waay di seetaanee. Let's listen to Tambedou getting his award while we try to get the rest of the people. This is the Nyohobai show.
So ladies and gentlemen, while we wait for the ushers to bring the award, I think it's important for us to know why we are giving the award to the Honorable Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Abubacarr Tambedou. And this is our message that we convey to him. The government, through your ministry, has implemented the decisions of the ECOWAS Court by paying compensation due to journalists and their families. This has not gone unnoticed by the Gambia Press Union. It goes to address a climate of impunity for crimes committed against journalists. We are also aware of your ministry's efforts to repeal draconian media laws and introduce freedom of information law. We are proud of your work. We thank you, and we hope that this award will challenge you to strive to achieve greater heights. And so, as we've said before, there were pending cases at the ECOWAS Court. There were rulings at the ECOWAS Court for the compensation of journalists, and through the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, some journalists, most of them have been paid, and discussions are underway for the final payment to tortured journalist Musa Ceesay. And apart from that, Tambedou has been a great friend of the Gambia Press Union, a great friend of journalists, and we want to take this opportunity to commend that and to commend him for that. So, ladies and gentlemen, can we have standing ovation for Mr. Tambedou? Thank you very much.
The next recipient of this honorary award is our Ceesay Sabali. I will have MK to receive this award on happy her. MK, please. So
Lawyer Ceesay Sabali is unable to join us tonight. So her award will be collected on her behalf by Seni M.K. Marina of the Constitutional Review Commission. And I want to make it clear, so in case Seni Marina claim this is his, this is for Howard Ceesay. But we are giving this award to Howard Ceesay Sabali as a result of her unflinching support for the Gambian journalists and the Gambia Press Union when things were tough. And this is our message we convey to her. As a private lawyer, you have many times risked the wrath of a dictatorship by representing the GPU and freedom of expression. The odds were many, but you were guided by your belief in freedom and justice. Your efforts are very appreciated by the GPU, including your drafting of the Freedom of Information Bill 2019. We are proud of you and your work. Thank you, and we hope that this award will strengthen an already strong relationship between you and the media towards ensuring freedom and justice for all. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for Howard Ceesay Sabali.
Thank you very much.
Yes, good morning, good evening.
The recipient of the next award is
wherever you are watching and listening to us from, welcome back to another edition of the Nyohobai show. Right now, of course, as we have told you earlier, we were talking to Sheriff Bojang Jr, who is the president of the GPU. Right now, we have Mr. Musa Ceesay on the line. Mr. Ceesay, of course, Sheriff mentioned as the one in charge of this GPU award. So there is no better person to tell us about the award than Musa. Mr. Ceesay, welcome to the Gambian Talents Nyohobai show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Can you please mute, if you are listening to us somewhere, can you please mute that because we are hearing ourselves in the background?
Okay, I think I'm hearing you very clear.
Okay. Yeah, we are hearing feedback from wherever you are listening to us from. That's what I'm saying. But yes, you are live on the Gambian Talents Radio. We just finished talking to Sheriff Bojang Jr, who actually told us that you are the one in charge of the GPU award. There has been a lot of backlash about this award. First off, are you a member of the GPU? Or what is your role at the GPU?
I remember, like any other practicing anyone in the Gambian press and media.
Okay.
But I don't work for the GPU.
Okay. So how were you selected to be the what is your title, by the way, as far as the award is concerned? I just want to make sure I get it. Are you chairman, president of the committee, council that was responsible for the award? What is your title as far as the award is concerned?
I am chair of the award committee.
Okay,
I am chair of the award committee.
Chair of the award committee. Okay. How were you selected, appointed, nominated to be the chair of this award committee?
You should have asked me this question some 4 years ago when I became chair of the award committee. Every year, the GPU, by virtue of my activities, probably in the press and the media, brought in a group of individuals whom they believe and trust that they will be able to execute such a job for them. When we met, they decided to put me forward to become the award chair in coordinating and putting up the award for the Gambia's press and media.
Okay. So you have been the chair for the past 4 years. You've been chairing this. How long is your mandate? Right. Is it an indefinite mandate?
There's nothing like indefinite or it's like a term, anything. This is just, annual. The moment the award is finished, you all go your separate ways. And if you feel like coming by the trust of your colleagues who happen to be identified for the year, and then if they satisfy you, if they think that, and you also equally want to do the job, for that short period, you just get on with it and do a job for the press and media, and that's it. Thank you very much. Bye.
Okay, fair enough. So you've been the chair for the past 4 years since the award started.
That's right.
I have no doubt that you guys have been doing a wonderful job, but this year mostly brought a lot of controversy and attention on social media with regards to the nomination, etc. I just talked to Sheriff. He has excused himself from the organization, the nomination process, and etc. He did not know anything about this. He didn't know the winners until 30 minutes before the ceremony, and that was because he had to sign off on the certificate. So can you tell us how you guys came up with selecting the candidates, the participants, and potential winners?
It's rather unfortunate that everything that you're saying about people's concern and worries on social media, there is no single competition in this world that has gone on unchallenged or unquestioned. You know, people the world over, whatever they don't know, they question. Whatever they don't like, they question. This is not like selecting anybody. From the inception and the announcement of the annual GPU award, which coincides with World Press Freedom Day in May 3rd, May 3rd, the GPU sends out messages to every single individual practicing journalist in the country. Whether you're interested or not, you are aware of the award and how it's gone, to be held. It is about all the categories that we believe that mirrors Gambian society. That is very much, in happening in the Gambian society. That is asked from all media practitioners, both radio, television, you name it. To put forward their best works, just as when you ask to put forward your best foot, whatever is it, put it forward. It's up to you. You can put in three submissions. So any category that you want, any category. Sometimes we change categories depending on its necessity and timing. That happens annually. So when that's the case, there is nothing like we don't select anybody. You select yourself because you put your work. We don't ask anybody to put your work or don't put your work. It's up to you. And from any practicing media house in this country, nobody is asked not to submit. It is free for everybody. Free for everybody. This should be made very clear from day one. For the last 3 months, this has been the call, talking to all media houses, putting out press releases on social media, on the GPU, because every journalist on the GPU, if you wish, in the GPU WhatsApp group, that's where you go out and then get all the information. And this is also being put out in the press and media for everyone to come forward. If you don't come forward, we don't select, we don't bow, we don't question. It's your choice. It's your choice. So the GPU award committee don't select anyone. If that answers your question rightly. Okay,
you don't select anybody. People submit their application, but then you came up with the categories.
Now listen to me very clearly. We came up with the criteria. We came up with 22 criteria. 22 criteria we came up with, which was put out. Of course, in any competition, and its GPU's mandates to improve the standard of journalism and everything that has to do with professionalism. So within those 22 categories that were identified this year, only 13 categories. 13 categories were the one which the judges identified as substantially acceptable to be of a standard which is acceptable, to be awarded. So you can imagine, out of 22, only 13. And those were the 13 categories which were, seen to carry any winners. Okay. It is not about just awarding anybody because you submit your work, you think I should win, or because no, I don't think so.
Okay, fair enough. Some people have questioned maybe some of the categories like entertainment and stuff. There was none. Is that one of the categories that were dropped, or there was nothing like an entertainment category?
There was, and I unfortunately I don't have the full list of categories that in front of me here, but I can tell you the categories that came through, and I think I would even be able to give you all the categories that we had out. If you want me to, we have sports, we have business, we have environment, we have futures reporting. We have health, medical and health, we have women, we have children, we have travel, tourism, culture, we have agriculture, political reporting, human rights, court reporting, and community radios. You name it. So all these are categories that were out there. Entertainment, for whatever reason, because of the nature of the entertainment field, it hasn't yet caught up the eyes of the union so as to develop a proper assessment of what it is. Because today the entertainment industry is kind of mixed up in a way in which you find it very difficult, whether you are a DJ, whether you are a reporter, or you are an entertainment columnist, you name it. These things need to be, distinguished properly so that at least it can be properly judged and awarded. Until that is done by the union, we can't do much about it at this stage.
Okay, fair enough. Now, the categories that you guys put out there, did you write? I know you said you had press conferences, etc., etc. Did you officially write to all the media houses in the country to let them know that this is going on and they need to submit entries and make sure all the journalists, because you talked about a WhatsApp group. Not every journalist in the country is part of that WhatsApp group. There are practicing journalists in other parts of the country, matter of fact, in the provinces. Has anybody been submitted anything? Like I'm talking about specifically for those in the provinces. Are they aware or are they excluded in this?
There is no one excluded in response to your question in this thing. Yeah, let me just make that very clear. Okay. I myself, we had, I think, 3 different press briefings about the award. We were on TV and appeared on many occasions on different radio stations and different television stations to promote the event, to create awareness surrounding it in the last 3 months when it was when it was planned. So we believe, and the number of publications that came out in the press and the media, Gambia is a small country. And we believe that all practicing people, if you are a skeptic, any day that anything comes out in the press, you'll be able to pick it up. And if you care about what's happening in the union, the press are very much, very friendly with the GPU. So anything that's put out is widely, publicized for everyone's consumption. So if anyone wants to suggest that probably you haven't seen it or you have it, it could be. But as far as we are concerned, we believe we've done what we could to have everyone informed of the award, so that you are fine, you are free to come forward and make your submission. It is not forced. As I said, I'm repeating this thing, we did not force anybody, the union did not force anybody, and equally, the award committee, all that we're trying to do is to make sure that if you hear it, come forward, put up your best work, and be amongst your colleagues, and be rewarded for the best thing you have ever done, probably.
Okay, that is fair enough, but still, I have heard what you said, and we covered even the last press conference, which took place, I think, 2 or 3 days before. 2 or 3 days before. 2 or 3 days. 2 or 3 days before the award. The last one you guys did, even we covered all of those and gave publicity. But then the people in the provinces are the ones I'm talking about specifically. Did you guys? I think it would not be a bad idea to write officially rather than just relying on the press briefings you did or media coverages that you did, because it may not reach every journalist in the length and breadth of the country. Don't you think you guys can actually write officially to media houses and say there is this award by the GPU? All your staff are welcome to send in entries in categories A, B, Z, up to Z. Don't you think so?
You see, I hope this is just this is not just thing like a justification of anything that we're trying to do. Mr. Juf, the issue is in here is the primary objective of the GPU in this thing is trying to honor and recognize the good work that is being done by all media practitioners in this country. And it is in the building process. As I said in my remarks that the GPU, we are toiling with an imperfect but better in what we are trying to do. And this thing is never going to be perfected until a day of time, probably. We are toiling, we are we are bettering things every year. Annually, we are moving up. The entire press and practitioner of journalism in this country all have a connection in the urban area. So anyone who is in the greater Banjul area as a link, a stringer, a correspondent, whatever you call it in the countryside. And for you to tell me that we might reach out to anybody in the countryside, and I can tell you that it's only for those people eventually who I believe might not be interested in or don't have anything to submit. But to suggest that they are not made aware or they don't know, I don't think that's the case in this story. But we can move on. We know that this thing is gaining momentum. We know that the public is getting more interested. We know that more people are becoming aware of it, and that's what it's all about. We don't claim that it should be known by everybody at this hour. I don't think, if I want to suggest that, I'll be a fool. But unfortunately, people might think that we're not reaching out to them, but it's a process.
Okay,
and we've been progressing from day one.
Fair enough. I asked Sheriff about the way the ushers were dressed. Of course, you are the organizers. He said he didn't know about that. He only saw them there. The UDP stuff that is being alleged that, well, same ushers were putting on yellow. This is, in fact, some people call GPU UDP. That is UDP, not GPU.
Mr. Juf, Mr. Juf, who owns colors? When is UDP? Who is UDP? Who owns the colors? Colors were here before anything to do with UDP or green or blue or whatever. Let us be very honest. Let us not be trivial. People who think that yellow is belonging to UDP. When did UDP came about? When was the color yellow? When did we have anything to do with yellow? So if I had put on anything like blue or whatever the case, I'm a PPP guy, or if I had put on gray, I'm a coalition guy, or whatever color that I can put on that day to show my affiliation. I think this is so trivial to even suggest that, because the girls were able to do. That's their own choosing. That's on their own making.
Okay.
We don't have anything to do with that. That's their sponsor. They went out, go and get whatever. They dress on whatever makes them feel comfortable. Let us stop being trivial. Let us stop being a bigot. This is absolutely nothing. Who owns colors? Who owns colors?
Okay.
This is the problem when, unfortunately, when Jammeh was here, anybody who doesn't toll the green line, you are not an APR supporter. For God's sake, let's move up.
Okay.
Let us move up as genuine people who are serious about moving our country, our societies, our institutions, and avoid or stop this kind of. It's so empty. I'm sorry, it's empty.
Okay, fair enough. My final question to you will have to do with the Fatou network. Right now, there is a lot of controversy between the Fatou network, Kerr Fatou, and how Kerr Fatou won. Sheriff is receiving a lot of backlash. He has just confirmed to me that he blocked Fatou Camara and Lamin Jai of the Kerr Fatou, and people are saying that, well, they were not involved in this whole process, and it may have to do with that, especially now that he has confirmed blocking them, which Fatou Camara wrote earlier. How can you convince people that Sheriff has no influence in this, that Sheriff's personal issue with let me ask you my question. Yes, let me ask you my question. How can you convince me and my audience that Sheriff's personal issue with the Fatou network team, specifically Lamin Jai and Fatou Camara, has nothing to do with this whole thing of them not participating, because one, they didn't cover, and a lot of things happening in the country, they provide coverage for it, one, and secondly, they had no entries and no winners, and a lot of people are arguing that, well, Fatou Network have a good team and have worked hard and should have been able to win this award. What's your take?
Mr. Juf, this is very. Anyhow, it's good you asked me this question. Let me make this thing. This question is kind of loaded, but I will try my level best to give you a very suitable response, fitting for your time and everything. One, I don't have anything to do with Sheriff and his personal engagement with Fatou Toure. All these people are Fatou Toure or Fatou Camara or what of the Fatou Network. I don't have anything to do with that. If it is personal, it's private, that is it, it's personal. If it is about public, the office that Sheriff occupies as president of the GPU, or Sheriff using the GPU office to act untowardly towards the Fatou Network, that can be questioned. I am not getting involved with what Sheriff personally is doing in his private his private life, on his private Facebook page or whatever. That has nothing to do with. If you ask me why didn't Fatou or Network submit their works or contest, that is, you can put that question to Fatou.
Yeah, no, I did not ask you why they did not submit. I asked you Sheriff's personal engagement with them.
You said they didn't win.
Yes, his personal engagement with them, whether that has any influence or anything to do with this. That is my question.
If you ask me, let me say this thing to the best of my ability. I don't know, and I don't think so. Officially, what I can say, officially what I can say to you is that Sheriff as president, or Sekou as secretary general, or me as the award committee chair, or Khadija as the coordinator, no one has the power to stop, to block any submission from any media house in the country. Do you understand? Nobody. Nobody. It is open to all. The Fatou Network, Kerr Fatou, Paradise, you, everybody, all the radio stations, all the press houses, all the online or whatever, or whoever you are free to submit your work to the 5-man panel of judges who scrutinize every work. I cannot, and I don't even know. I don't even know. I am the only person, probably with the judges, who is aware of the winners when they concluded their job. Not even the rest of the award committee.
Okay.
So to have suggested otherwise, how this, how that, and it's very unfortunate in this current situation in which social media is so terribly abused. I mean, by we the youngsters. Yeah, because I mean, let us be very honest. It's so terribly abused. We are all in it. You are in it. I am in it, and.
I will let you go, but your final words to our listeners before I let you go.
Thank you very much. I say it as it is, and this is this is a work in progress. And I hope people appreciate the little work, the efforts of the union. We are moving as a country, and the GPU is trying to really honor hard-working journalists of this country. Whether you are aware of it or not, you can only do what you can do when you can do it. But to force somebody to do what he can do when he can do it is just like asking him to break his own back, and that doesn't do you any good. It doesn't do GPU any good. It doesn't do you Pa Usman any good. It doesn't do me any good. So I think we as a community, we as a people, should remain very positive, should remain focused. Focus on what we have. So that we can all progressively move together. The GPU is here to stay. Whether it's Sheriff, it could be somebody else tomorrow, it could be you tomorrow, and it could be anybody. But the job has to continue. And we have to show some little bit of dedication and show some little bit of respect equally in dealing in our own dealings, because all the things that you've been saying, they've been coming to me and put to my attention. But I said, you know what? What is it? What's there at the end of the day? We are all independent of the jobs that we did and deliver for the Gambia Press Union. And if Pausman, every day, sportsmen and women will keep telling you, no, Ronaldo is the best, no, Messi is the best. And they're still fighting over it. They're still fighting over it.
Thank you very much.
So
Mr.
what I'm
Caesar.
asking, let them put their work forward. Let's remain as comrades. Let's continue to breed solidarity amongst Gambian press men and women, so that we can continue to develop our country in the best possible way forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Musa Ceesay. That is Musa Ceesay, the chair of the GPU Awards Committee that just concluded over the weekend. We will take a quick break with more on the awards, and then we will be bringing you Mr. Dabo himself, the man that won the multiple awards. Hey, he's not playing, huh? He's the multiple award winner. Did he deserve it or not? It's a different story. Let's see Mr. Dabo, and don't go anywhere. You are watching the Gambian Talents TV, and don't go anywhere. Stay tuned and see Mr.
Mustapha Dabo is also the Vice President of the Gambia Press Union, and he insists I should announce them. He has won an award each year with stage one. In football, we call such kind of people goats. They take everything. The next award on the line is Health and Medical Reporting Award. Here we have Kebaje from Foroya, Winifred Nicole GRTS, and Aliou Ceesay QTV, formerly Daily Observer. Abdullah Gazama, Deputy Managing Director, GRTS, is now here with us. I know he is not very good with that though. We would invite Jundu at this point to do us the honor to award the Health and Medical Reporting award.
Just to remind you, you are watching and listening to the Gambian Talent. Just bear with me as I try to reach Mustapha Dabo, who is, of course, the winner of the multiple award winner, who all this controversy is about right now. There has been a lot of talk about Mustapha and whether he qualifies to win this award or not. That is who we are reaching right now. We'll be talking to Mustapha this minute, this second. We are trying to reach him. Once we get him on the line, we'll bring him on. Manglenai Bege yen ñu déglu di seetaan thank you for watching that you are Langalandi. We have heard those things. That jubilation. Yes, that is all from the GP award. We just finished talking to Musa Ceesay, that is coming from the GP award.
Attorney Ceesay is also the Secretary General of the Gambia Sports Journalists Association, or the Sports Journalists Association of the Gambia. Cameraman, I need that projector. So please, Momodu. Women's Reporting Award. I'm told it was Attorney Bojang Jr. Is still here with us? Is Ami here? No, she's gone. We will have Lawyer Lamin LS Kamara to do us the honor to present this award. LS, please. Nominees in this category are Uminjai GRTS. I remember she has been a winner. Falu ML Janko, DJ Senator. Fatou Elika Muloshi. They're all GRTS. Why would you allow this? No. Well, anyway, if they are more deserving, they are my colleagues as well, so I wish them good luck.
The winner of the Women's Reporting Award is Falilu M. L.
Follow Emel Janko. Maybe I'll name again Brikama FMB, where he started, Unique FM, and eventually GRTS. Senator is one of our icons on television now. But what surprises me is the contest was between him and two women. So that's good. If men are recognizing women, that's good. The fight used to be their fight alone. Now we will join them.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, you are listening to and watching the Nyohobai show from the Gambian Talents TV. Pa Usman Juf here behind the microphone. Thank you all that are watching and listening this minute, this second, wherever you are. We apologize for all that. We were trying to reach Mustapha Dabo, the winner, multiple award winner, but right now, of course, we are still unable to get to Mustapha. Right now, this second, this minute, we have Lamin Jai of the Fatou Network on the line, who, of course, his name has been mentioned here a few times, a few occasions. And Mr. Njai, Mr. Njai.
Pa Usman, sorry, this is Selector Charles. I'm on my radio right now.
Oh, Selector Charles, I'm sorry about that. Huh? Well, sorry about that, Selector Charles. We are trying to reach Lamin Jai. Lamin, of course, we just called you on right there on the platform that you told us to call you on. So please give us an alternative. I just dialed you, Lamin Jai. Please give us an alternative way to reach you. Ñu ngi leen ay bëggee képp ku ñuy déglu fu si waay nekk si ñenenti ko ñi àdduna ak penku xarpu ngopp wala ngalandu ñu ngi jégalu bu baax a baax. I am trying to reach multiple people here. It's getting late in the Gambia. I just called him and could not get hold of him. And I am trying to get hold of Lamin Jai right now. Mr. Jai, Mr. Jai is with us. Si jamono jini. If you are listening, Mr. Jai, please, you can try to get back to us this minute, this second. Just give me a second. Let me send this to Mr. Jai here. Yes, I'm trying to get hold of you. I will try one more time. We are talking about the GPU award. As you heard earlier, we just finished speaking to what you call him. We just finished speaking to Mr. Musa Ceesay, who is the chairperson of the committee, the award committee that put together the GPU awards. This minute, this second, we are trying to reach Mr. Lamin Jai. Earlier, we have spoken to Sheriff Bojang Jr., who is the president of the GPU, and you've heard what Mr. Bojang said. He had confirmed blocking Lamin Jai of the Fatou network. Is it the case? Mr. Jai, we are trying to get hold of you. I am trying to call you this minute, this second. Somebody is on the radio, as he said, Selector Charles. So, Mr. Jai, if you are listening or following, please try to get in touch with us. Yes, Mr. Jai, I saw your message. Exactly, you can do that right now. Képp ku ñuy déglu rek fu si waay nekk ci ñenente ko ñu àdduna pe ko xam wala ngalandu. Exactly. Yes. Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening, Pastor. How are you?
I'm fine, Lamin Jai. How are you?
I'm okay.
Yes.
Glad to be on here.
Yes, I must thank you. I know it's late there for you to be sitting, waiting for us all this while. I mean, I told you I was going to call you, but obviously I had Sheriff and what you call him on the line earlier. I was talking to them. Well, I saw you were following the show. The GPU award just finished this last weekend, and a lot of controversy. People say Lamin Jai of the Fatou Network. If nobody has an award, Lamin Jai of all people deserves an award. He's doing a wonderful job going to the four corners of the Gambia to get news and information. Watch your documentary or special report you did on Koina, which is the last village or settlement in the Gambia. So people say Lamin Jai deserves an award. The award just finished. Did you apply? You've heard probably what both Musa and Sheriff said. Did you apply for this award ceremony, Mr. Jai?
Well, thank you very much, Pausman. First of all, let me say that I'm glad to be on the show, the Nyohobai show. That said, let me say that I did not apply for the award. Yes, I didn't apply. I had no plan to apply. So, and then this is an award you have to understand, which one can only win an award by way of you applying. So, the single count that I did not apply would automatically make me not to win an award.
Okay, so why did you not apply? I mean, are you not aware, or were you not aware of the award or anything?
Yes, I think I did not apply. I was aware of it. Of course, it was announced, so I was aware. But for some reason, I wouldn't know. I didn't feel like applying.
You didn't feel like applying? It's a personal decision.
Yeah, it's a personal decision. It has nothing. There's nothing. That one can really point to and say, "Oh, this is the reason why he did not apply."
Lamin Jai is not a strange name to the Gambians. You are followed by a lot of people. You are admired by a lot of people, and it is important. There is a lot of talk about this. I know for your boss to come out to actually write some things, it has to do with pressure that she is supposedly facing from the public. So can you tell your followers, your audience that, hey, this was my decision. I mean, I did not apply, and this is why I didn't apply. Can you tell your audience the reason why you did not apply for the award? Is that something you can share?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You have to understand these awards started some 4 years ago. It's in its fourth year, right? And throughout this period, I have never applied for an award. For some reason, I would not be able to tell you why I have not been applying for when it comes to this award. So, but then again, what one also has to understand is this issue of you have to look at the category, the newspaper/online category. The award went to an individual, not necessarily to an organization. But then I think a lot of people are missing that part, that bit. But then it was not also, it was a bit weird to me and strange because I think there were other categories that were awarded, categories like community radio of the year. So I was thinking that the newspaper/online would have been an organization, not an individual. But then, anyways, or all the same, the award went to an individual.
Yeah, but the award went to an individual, not to a category. So why have you not applied for the past 4 years? You were aware of it. I still want to know. You were aware of it for the past 4 years, but you didn't apply. This was even before you joining the Fatou network, right?
Yes, exactly. But then, okay, let me say this then. You have to understand, since this thing came, this award exercise came, project came, all journalists are invited from the top to the bottom. These include editors. It include just reporters, ordinary reporters, reporters. But what you have seen is that in the past 4 years or so, I mean, for example, for example, editors, you don't find any editor who would apply for these awards. It's only ordinary or general reporters who would apply for this. So for some reason, I wouldn't know, all the editors tend to shy away from this. I have been an editor in the past 4 years or so. I have worked with various news media organizations. So this, I think that is this, thing that is ego, if you like, which is keeping editors from applying when it comes to this award.
Okay, so you are one of those editors, and that is why you haven't applied. Okay, well, the talk between you and Sheriff. I interviewed him. I know you were listening to the interview with Sheriff. You and him had an altercation. Was it during the Yakumba Jete case? You went to cover the Yakumba Jete case, court case versus the president or the state, and you tried to interview Sheriff there, and Sheriff insulted you and used some foul language on you. What was your relationship like with Sheriff prior to this day?
So this is someone who was very close to me. We were friends. This is someone that I would, for example, go to Dhaka when he was in exile. When he was away. When I go to Senegal, I would meet him. I would even sleep on his bed. That was how close we were. So I mean, and I have always looked at him in that light as someone who is my friend. That's where it stops. He has always been my friend. But then I over the period that I have known him, I have grown comfortable when it comes to him. I was very comfortable. So me seeing him at the High Court, for example, I thought, well, this is normal. I mean, here is someone that is very close to me. I would not approach him for an interview and report me. So what happened. I mean, it was as unfortunate as it was regrettable.
But what triggered you asking him? There were so many people there. you took the mic to him, and from what he, the way he acted, it's like that wasn't the first time. So why him though? Why Sheriff? There were tons of people
So
there.
you have to understand this was spontaneous. I was like it was a live coverage. So when you are, I mean, in a live coverage situation, you don't really tend to determine or pick who to interview and who not to interview. You will just look around and see someone, and then you will feel like interviewing him. And you have to understand that this was a situation. And in any situation, journalists can always interview journalists. I mean, what I wanted was my intention was very clear. My conscience was very clear. All I wanted him was for him to give me an insight as to what really happened inside the court, not necessarily his personal opinion, but what really happened inside. Because from all the people that I was interviewing, it was clear, it was evident that these people didn't understand what really happened inside the court or in the courtroom. So I wanted someone who, including those who were watching at the time. So I wanted someone who could at least, inform them, who could at least break it down for them. So, but then I found it surprising when he reacted the way he reacted, and but then to him he thought I was insisting, and then he snapped.
There was no prior encounter with you and Sheriff, no prior bad blood or negative encounter between you and him.
I mean, there was no prior bad blood. I mean, this is a guy who we are even going to work. When this Chronicle project came, I was invited. I mean, this is not because of the friendship we have, but I think it was because of what I can do. I mean, he thought that I was someone who is would be competent, who would be able to work at the Chronicle and then position it to the level that the proprietors or whoever is behind it want it to be. So we were into that talks, and a week earlier we even met. I was in his house, and then this thing came. I was shocked. I was shocked.
Okay, fair enough. So the encounter happened. In your defense, you kept your calm, you kept cool. How did you feel though? You were very calm and professional, and you didn't react in any way according to what we saw. Some people said that though the video was edited somewhat, you guys just saw the positive part and then deleted your reaction. How did you feel and how did you react? Is it exactly what we saw? Was that your exact reaction, or was there another part of the story that was?
To tell you the truth, that was exactly how I reacted. My reaction, because when one is shocked about something, I mean, sometimes you turn to react in a very calm and collected way. That was how I reacted, because I didn't see this coming. If I saw it coming, probably I would have reacted in a different way. And for example, when I have a brother who lives in Europe, and when this was happening live, his friend walked into his room and told him, "Have you seen your brother? Your brother, someone is insulting him and he's not doing anything. He's just smiling and laughing." And then my brother told me, "Well, I know my brother, but probably now he's at a different level. He wouldn't want to, but I know my brother. My brother, he's never insulted him his entire life since I've known him. So that is the kind of person that I am. But in front of the camera, I got to be, at a certain level. So, and then that was my reaction. My reaction was one of calmness, one of, calmness and yeah.
I reached out to both you and Sheriff at the time. I wanted to interview you, and you declined the interview, which I respected. You said Sheriff had apologized to you, and you have put it behind you. All of a sudden, we saw revelations from your boss, Fatou Camara, that Sheriff blocked you. At what point did Sheriff block you, personally?
So here's the thing. I wouldn't even know, because I am someone who would not really pay attention to some of these things. So one day I was with my boss, and then it was she was the one who told me that. I mean, I think we were discussing about GPU, and then Sheriff came up, and then but then that has to do with a meeting, a project that GPU is working on, and then Fatou was invited to be part of it. And then at some point, because what we understood in the invite, the invitation that was sent was, so that was the name Sheriff Bojang. So Fatou thought, I think it was later that we came to understand that I was told that it was the other Sheriff Bojang Senior. So Fatou thought that it is Sheriff Junior, and then Fatou decided to stay away from that meeting. And then we were talking, and Fatou, during the conversation, that was when she told me, in fact, I think he has blocked me. So how can I go to a meeting where he would be, me and him would be sitting and looking at each other? It's going to be very awkward and weird. So when she said that, I mean, she was blocked by Sheriff, that was when I also went to check. That was when I also opened my Facebook and went to check. So when I checked and then realized that he is no more my friend. So I was like, oh, you know what? I have also been blacklisted, I think. So that was how I came to know about it.
And this was after your incident at the Akumbajete court?
Yes, this was after my incident, because a lot of things also happened along the way, and then until I later realized that I am no more his friend on Facebook.
So but he apologized to you publicly, and he said he reached out to you privately as well. Did he reach out to you?
I have always have my reservations when it comes to that apology, because since the day the incident happened, what I told people who were trying to resolve this issue, what I told them, I am not going to take part in any insincere exercise. I mean, and then it's only a sincere apology that I'm going to accept, not an apology that is foisted on somebody, because someone somewhere told you to go and apologize, and then out of that you apologize. So I would want you to apologize in a sincere manner, and then in that apology, things were said that are false, that are not true. So I had my reservations. So and then also this case even went up to the police. I had to report the matter to the police, because I thought that was important, that was necessary, because when these shared words were being machine gun at me, other things were said, which by the time he was saying those things, I had already put the mic off.
So he has said more things than what was captured by the mic.
Yes, by the grace of God, the mic, I had to turn off the mic, but more things were said. So it was serious. So I thought that I could take this matter to the police. This happened well before the GPU even engaged us. The GPU had always wanted to meet us to find a way of resolving, because it took GPU days before it could even come out with a statement.
Which one, like Mamadou Sabali, continues to criticize them on whenever they condemn or come up with a statement on anything? Sabali would say Mbojo Nation. I'm like, so it took a GPU a while in your case before they actually came out with a statement. So all along they've tried and made efforts to resolve the issue, right?
Yes. What they wanted was for them to meet me first before they can even come out and before they can issue a statement, which I found really, ridiculous. I thought meeting me was not important at all. What the GPU could have done at the time was to go and review whatever must have happened and then issue their statement from a very independent and impartial point of view. That was what I expected, but it had to take them some time, and then finally they managed to meet us. But then when they met with us, we spoke, we discussed, and that was when the union went and issued that statement.
Okay, so they issued this statement. Sheriff apologized to you, didn't he? He apologized to you personally, privately.
Not privately. He apologized by way of a letter that was posted on Facebook, and I was tagged in the letter, but not personally.
He did not come to you. Sheriff did not call you. He didn't come to you. He didn't send you any personal message, whether email or call or text message or Facebook inbox or through any. There was nothing that came directly besides something that was posted and you were tagged on it.
So here's the thing. When this entire thing happened, and I think he, was under a lot of pressure for him to come out and apologize. So, but then you have to understand, even a few, hours after this incident happened, he went on our GPU platform and said, I think by that time the pressure had started heaping. He came on the platform and said he was going to apologize to me, even though I was very provocative. So you can see that here is a guy who wants to apologize, but also here is a guy who wants to justify whatever he must have done. So I found that really surprising. So in the evening, a call came. This is Sheriff Bojang, but someone who wants to apologize to you, I think he has to be seen to be putting in effort. But you call someone 5 seconds before he could even get to his phone, the call dropped. So I that was it. That was what I can remember. Until the day that we met at the police station in Banjul, because when I reported the case to the police station, he was invited, and then he came there. So, but then when he came to the police station, he was earlier on the show and said he didn't want to go personal. So I wouldn't want to go into certain things. But when he was invited the following day, by the time I went there, my camera guy had to come and write a statement, and he was invited. And when he came, he said things that were false. So when we were coming out, he tapped me on my arm, I think, and said, don't be angry, something like that in Mandinka. So, but then, if you want to apologize to me, you cannot come to the station and lie, for example. You have to say the truth. Because in my statement, what I said was, and if you see, when I saw Sheriff, when I wanted to interview, I said, hey, here is the editor of the Chronicle newspaper. You can see that in the video. It's everywhere, it's there. You can go and confirm. But when he came to the police station, what he told me was, he said, okay, when I turned to him, when I pointed in my car, I thought, oh, here's the president of the Gambia Press Union. So I couldn't believe that. I found that unbelievable. So I thought that, well, you can just come and say what really happened, and then we can reconcile and then move ahead. But you cannot be doing, and then you will be granting interviews and saying things that are false. You cannot go to, because someone wanted to interview me, I think it's Guy Nako. He went to that platform and he was telling them that, okay, here is someone who is my mentee. Sheriff has never been my mentor. All I saw him, I have ever looked at him was a friend. He's never, because a mentor is someone who, for example, trains you or advises you. I have never given my work to Sheriff for advice. I would write pieces, for example, and send it to everybody for them to read, to just read. He has never been my mentor. And if he says he's my mentor, that's not true. So not just that. Other things were also said, things who I find unbelievable and ridiculous. So, but then, for me, I never had any problem. And in respect of this award, we do not have any problem with anybody winning. Mustapha is an amazing, kid. I worked with Mustapha. I was editing the Standard. Mustapha was working there. We worked together. I know what that, guy can do when it comes to this job. The passion is there. Amazing guy. At some point, I wanted to work, even when I started working with the Party Network, if that is one person that I've always wanted to work with, is Mustapha Dabo. So I don't have any problem with Mustapha, and I think Mustapha deserves every award. He's been winning. Last year he won, this year too, and I have always admired this gentleman. So and then well, when it comes to I had my reservations when it comes to certain issues. For example, awarding Tambedou an award, I found that ridiculous. But then, anyways, he got the award, and that's it. So again, when it comes to Fatou Camara and what she wrote on Facebook, you have to understand that questions were being raised. Like I said, I think the public was misled. A lot of people thought that it was Kerr Fatou that was awarded. So and then you have to look at the conclusion and the rivalry. So a lot of people found that really unbelievable. How can Kerr Fatou win over the Fatou network? So that was where. So a lot of calls were coming, a lot of questions were being asked, and then all of this was being linked to the Fatou network versus Sheriff Bojang. But you also have to understand too is that Sheriff Bojang is the president of the union. I think when he was speaking with you, he did mention that he's the president. So if anything, he's the one who's going to take the bullet and everything. But you have, so this is how serious this position is. This is how serious. So if you are in a certain position, you've got to be at a certain level. You cannot behave anyhow and think that is fine. It is only in Africa, or if you like Gambia, where people will behave anyhow and get away with it. But in other climes, you will not. That will not obtain. So I mean, if he's the president and if he would come to you and say, "Oh, Facebook is my personal whatever," and then I have every right to block, and these are journalists who put you there to serve them. So if, for example, I see that Sheriff has blocked me on his personal Facebook, I would think that the conclusion that I would draw is that this guy does not want to have anything to do with me, and he's my president, remember? And I may want to, raise certain issues with him when it comes to the union. So it is a mutually reinforcing, mix all together. So you cannot. What is private is public in this case, and what is public is private in this case. If you are holding a public office, you've got to live by example. You cannot be any straight man or any
ordinary person. Fair enough. So what is your reaction to people who will say that, well, Lamin Jai is getting himself into this thing? Obviously, your boss is a woman, and she is seen by some people to be a controversial woman involved with a lot of controversy, and people will say Lamin Jai and them are trying to get themselves into this Fatou Camara controversy stuff. What is your reaction to people who think that way?
So let me say this, Fatou Camara is Fatou Camara. And she can also be the private citizen that she is anytime she wants. She is just the CEO of this establishment, of this organization. I am the editor-in-chief of this establishment, this organization. And by the grace of God, I have been able to, manage or run this place the way I want it to be run in terms of the editorial direction and everything. So Fatou Camara is just she's the overall boss, the overseer, but she doesn't interfere in any way in the work that we do here. That's number one. All right. Number two, whether I would allow myself to be drawn into Fatou Camara's whatever she is into. Look, here's the thing. I am someone who is, I am very principled. I am very principled, and then I like to think me and do things me, not necessarily to be carried away, or someone would tell me to get into things that I don't want to get into. So that is the point. So me being dragged into this, that's entirely my prerogative. It's going to be entirely my decision, whatever that is out there that I want to involve myself in. But like I said, Fatou Camara as in Fatou Camara is different from Fatou Network as an organization. And I think people need to understand that. People need to be able to differentiate these two. They are different. So Fatou Camara can be out there, and he's entitled she's entitled to her opinions, and she can be on her Facebook or other platforms and say and contribute and say whatever she wants to say. But then one should not mix that, or one should not confuse that with the Fatou Network as an organization.
Did she know you are coming to this platform? Because she's been avoiding me for the longest. Even today, I invited her. She will never say no, but Fatou Camara will never make it to my platform. I've been following her for the longest. Daf Maragal, tell her Pa Usman said you are scared of him.
I think she should be aware. I think she should be aware that
she does never want to come to my platform. But anyway.
But you also have to understand she's very busy,
I see her on so many platforms. There's nothing like this busy. She's scared of my hot seat. She's scared of my hot seat. She knows how I do.
So. She's just busy,
You see the Musa Bachilis and the others walking away from my platform. She will also walk away if she comes. That is what she's scared of. Anyway, moving ahead. So what is the way forward next year if this award is to come? People think you deserve to be on this. Will Lamin Jai apply to be on the GPU award?
So, I may I may at some point, maybe next year, the upper year, I may, apply. I mean, I may apply because for me, what is important is about doing a good job, not necessarily to be awarded, but just to do a good job and then go home. That is what I want to do. And this, you have to understand now that the competition now is there for everybody to see, for everyone to see. You have all these organizations, everyone wants to peep the order to the post. So for me too, I mean, I've got to be serious about this job. It's about, working hard, doing a good job. At the end of the day, I think it is the public will be the judge. So for me, that is what I am really, really invested in right now.
Will you personally and the Fatou Network resolve your difference with Sheriff? Obviously, it's not healthy. It's not professional. You are colleagues. You had a good relationship and everything. I agree with you with what you said that Sheriff actually should have known better as the president of GPU, that he is no longer an ordinary person, and if you are holding a public you, if he blocks you, if you are not able to reach with him, if he's not comfortable dealing with you, would that not be somewhat questionable? And now a lot of people are attributing this to him because of that. But then when will you personally try to have peace, broker peace, just for the sake of peace and tranquility and professionalism and everything? Will you actually consider reconciling with Sheriff?
Well, I think it's possible. Reconciliation in life sometimes can be difficult, but it's possible. But then, like you said, what you have to understand, because for me, when the awards came, I was thinking that the debate and the controversy was only going to stop at the awards. But then all of a sudden, the Fatou Network was dragged into it. All of a sudden, this Sheriff versus Lamin issue came up. And then even people had to go and dig and then rummage and then bring that video back. Some people had to go to that length, to that extent. So that is why you have to understand that if you are in a certain position, you are the face. When it comes to that organization or when it comes to that group, you are the face. So if you do if that is any slip up, it becomes very difficult for people to forget about it, for people to so it's just natural that people are most of these people who are bringing this issue over back and back again, I don't know them, I don't know them at all. These are just people who are just talking about it. For some reason, they are still talking about it and they are still insisting that Sheriff GPU or Sheriff should resign his job. So, and then, I mean, they have a right to their opinion. So I will not sit here and say they cannot. But then when it comes to me and Sheriff, I mean, I think reconciliation is possible. We can always, it's not going to be the same because like what this has taught me or taught me is to be careful when it comes to, relationships, when it comes to friendship for that matter. Because you don't have to be too comfortable because you don't know where the other person is going to be, to disgrace you or to act whatever way that he wants to act, So, but then, I mean, we can at some point we can. I think it's possible. I mean, I think not in life you cannot say that this cannot happen. So, let's wait and see.
What message do you have for your fans, your followers? People that are fighting for you and taking bullets for you this minute and taking this too personal? What message do you have for them? Finally.
Well, I think it's appreciated. The fact that if you're working and people appreciate the work that you do, I think that is refreshing. And what it does, it challenges you to be able to do a better job. So for me, that is how I am looking at it. It's about doing a good job when it comes to this work. Every day we are learning. I am learning. We are very young. We're still learning. And then we want to grow. We want to get to that level that where everybody would reach and say, oh, yes, this is the level. So that's how they should look at it, that we are here, we would be here, and then we would be working hard. It's about working hard, doing a good job, doing good journalism, of course, there would be, challenges here and there, hitches, slip-ups here and there. but that wouldn't come as a distraction. If anything, that will embolden us to continue doing this job. Yeah, to be able to contribute.
Thank you very much, Mr. Njai, for talking to us.
It's a pleasure, Pausman. Thank you.
Yes, that was Lamin Jai, the editor-in-chief of the Fatu Network we were talking to right there. Mr. Jai is currently at their studio in the Gambia. We truly appreciate him taking the time to stay until this time to talk to us. You've heard what he said. We'll do some little analysis and then we'll end the show since we've been here for a while. It is obvious we've all heard and seen the trend. We've tried to reach Mustapha Swandi Jammeh, who of course is the winner that brought all of this. He went home with 4 different awards, and people thought it wasn't fair. Kerr Fatou this, Fatou Network that, etc., etc. Now, Fatou Toure and Fatou Camara had their own little issues. There is no doubt about that. People know this. The two of them have been friends for a very long time. They were very close and they did a lot of things together. Fatou and the two Fatus have done a lot of things together actually. They were very close back in the days since they were at GRTS when they worked together as colleagues when Fatou Toure was at Gamtel. Until, matter of fact, they came to exile. They came on exile here to the United States. We'll take a quick break, of course, with the award, and we will return to actually finish up that analysis. Continue enjoying and watching the GPU award, and we'll be right back.
The next category, Children Supporting Award. The nominees are Aissatou Diaga, GRTS, Momodou Jao, The Point newspaper. We will invite Mr. Famara Dabo.
Maybe you want to also mention Aissatou has been winning all the previous years. Aissatou Diaga.
Mr. Famara Dabo to come forward and do us the honor.
I think he left. He left. Come. Call someone.
Yes, welcome back wherever you are watching and listening to us from. This is the Nyohobai show on the Gambian Talents Radio and TV. We just spoke to Sheriff Bojang Jr., the president of the Gambia Press Union. We spoke to Musa Ceesay, the chairperson of the organizing committee of the Gambia Press Union Award, and we just spoke to Lamin Jai. The fourth person we were supposed to speak to was Mustapha Dabo. Of course, we have tried to reach out to Fatou Camara and Fatou Toure, and both of them actually were not able to talk to us this minute. We will try to one more time. Actually, at some point, Fatou Toure tried to get back to us. We'll try to get Fatou Toure one more time and see if she will be available to talk to us. And if not, we'll just do that quick analysis. Hopefully, Fatou Toure is available. Hello, Fatou.
Hey, Paus.
How are you?
I'm good.
You are live on the Gambian Talents TV.
What? But why are you putting me without my consent? You don't do that.
Listen to Fatou Toure say you don't do that. I sent you a message. I told you I want to talk to you about this thing specifically. You have returned my call at some point. You have returned my call at some point.
Listen. Okay. Let's make this clarification. You called, you text me, I said I was recording, but I did not say I agreed to be on air. So before you put me on air, you should have said, hey, I'm
You had called me back when I was talking to somebody else. And I figured you already know what I was calling you for anyway. Well, you are live, Fatou Toure. You are live, Fatou Toure. You have a choice. If you want to talk to us, we will be glad to talk to you. If you don't want to talk to us, we will respect it. I mean, I called you. I had informed you earlier. At least I didn't just jump and call you out of the blue and said you are live. I had explained myself to you, what I wanted to talk to you about. And you had returned my call, which I appreciate, but I was busy at the time.
I mean, of course, you know, as the media person, we also look for interviews, right? So if you call me and we were not able to speak, well, I would definitely return your call back because that is courtesy, and that's why I returned your call because at that point I was recording a show when you called, so that's why I said, hey, I'm recording a show right now. So that was what happened.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
but okay, what did you want us to talk about?
okay, thank you. You know you are live, right? Kerr Fatou, Kerr Fatou. You are live, right? You know that, right?
Wow, that getting a lot of pause.
Okay, fair enough. Ñu waxtaan ak yow rek Fatou Touré. The award night. I had spoken to Sheriff Bojang Jr. I had spoken to Musa Ceesay. I spoke to Lamin Jai of the Fatou Network. Just got off the phone with all of them, and now I am talking to you. The award came. Mustapha Dabo, a seasoned journalist working with you now, went home with 4 different awards. People say it's not fair. Chowlang in a kur. Yourself, you are not, will I say, you are not helping this situation because you are posting and celebrating still. You are in that joyous moment, right? Are you just celebrating or are you garwaleing?
But you think, I think, Pa, was just like you, and I know how much you are passionate about your staff. I see every time how you celebrate the people that work with you. So as the head of the unit, if somebody like Mustapha, who I know very well, as I'm speaking to you, he's in the office writing stories upon stories. Somebody who I know worked tirelessly, he's been awarded, and the best I could do is just celebrate him. And that I'm not going to relent on that because I think he earns what he deserves what he got. And I think it's important as the head of the team to celebrate him. That is just going to encourage him to work extra harder. He's just going to make him feel that the people that I work with have so much respect for me. They respect my craft. So that is why we're celebrating him. But it has nothing to do with anybody. Why? Who are we going to garwale?
Well,
you
people,
know me. You know I don't do those things. Have you ever seen me telling anybody?
Yeah, but people are saying hamga li all of it they wax ne but enwood why hamna lu bopa andan certain things look very obvious. In this case, everything seemed to be in your favor. And right now, you know the discussion is about the Fatou Network versus Kerr Fatou. That is the bottom line. Yesterday, Fatou Camara posted something talking about this award and how she doesn't want to be awarded and a few things. And a few minutes later, you posted Mustapha's picture again. A lot of people took that to be Fatou Touré Garoualeing Fatou Camara and throwing shades at her. What is your reaction to the people who feel that way?
I think people are just being unfair if they feel that way. If anybody knows me personally, even the way I interact on social media, you know I don't do those things. Even when I know people are throwing stones at me, I do not respond because I am trying to make news out of other people. So I never want to be the news myself. So I don't do those kind of things. So if anybody thinks that way, I think they're just they're wrong, and it's unfortunate they think that way. Everybody has a right to their opinion, and I respect that. But I think what is important also for people to understand that for me personally, I am so proud of this gentleman, the kind of work he does, and I was just celebrating him. But how many times did I post Mustapha? Most of the time, people come to my Mustapha's office, Facebook. So I do that all the time. So today, if something like that happened and people will take it that way, I think it's so unfortunate. People should stop creating things that I think it's also unnecessary. So Facebook. I don't do those kind of things. So why would I do that?
Yeah, but like I said, there are several odds against you in this situation, simply because the award came. No online platform was there to cover it, but Kerr Fatou. We see you posted several pictures. In fact, before that, there are widespread speculations that Sheriff Bojang is a shareholder at Kerr Fatou. I had asked him, and he denied it. He said you're making a lot of money, and he wished he was a shareholder now because of the amount of money you are making. Can you confirm to us, is Sheriff Bojang a shareholder with Kerr Fatou?
You want me to send me my business registration details? Why would Sheriff be a business? I mean, actually, when I was even registering my business, I think I have just known Sheriff few months. Sheriff is my very good friend. And when he came, before he even took up this job at Chronicle, he did help us a lot. So, and I'm very grateful for that friendship and relationship. But I can tell you, he doesn't own a dime in Kerr Fatou. But he is my very good and trusted friend, and I cherish that relationship. But why would why would that be even a point? For what do they pay money for these awards? I don't even know about that.
But even if they don't pay money, but it's recognition. It's good. Kuko def kuko wax la bugalo la Olof Njai wax. Now you were seen at the award posing with Sheriff and posted pictures and even tag his wife on it and everything, and people are interpreting all of those things. I am on your Facebook page right now. I am showing the picture that you had with Sheriff, in which you tag his wife. And everything. So people are taking that, okay, well, Lola, you have a personal relationship with Sheriff, and that is why you guys came home with all of these awards.
Let me just make this clarification. Number one, Mustapha Keda for the past 3-4 years since this award, this is the 4th year. From the 4th year, first year he won 3 awards. Second year he won 4 awards. Third year, last year, he won 3 awards. This year he won 4. So let's just be honest to each other. You know this gentleman, you follow his stories. I did not even submit anything on behalf of myself or even Kerr Fatou. Man submit to Musa because I was telling Mustafa say, don't submit. I'm like, Mustafa, no. I mean, no. He said, but the Kerr Fatou TV show is one of the best shows here. You should have submitted. I'm like, you know what? I don't like losing. So Bukuma, them, you nominate me and I don't win. So I did not even submit myself or any other member of my team. But Mustafa is one person who is very passionate about these things. And he's a hard worker. He works so hard. But people are forgetting that this gentleman has won over. He is the most awarded journalist in this country when it comes to GPU award. Let me just clarify that for you. This guy, first year, the win how much 2 or 3 times how much. Second year, I think he won about 3. Last year, this is the time he just started working with us. 2 months he started working with us. He won 3 awards last year. This year he won 4. So I don't know why is the I don't know. I don't like to talk about issues like that. But I think what we should do, Pao, just like I saw you did, congratulated him and the entire Kerr Fatou team. I think that should be the spirit, because at the end of the day, these awards don't come with money, but it's recognition. If somebody does the work and people appreciate his efforts, I think it's just of all of us to appreciate and support them and encourage them. They are young people who are trying to focus on their career. They're working so hard. I don't think we should discourage people, especially making so much noise about these awards. Why would how can Mustapha bribe S.O. Williams? How can Mustapha bribe Agnes from Dakar? I don't know, Agnes Tomasi. How can Mustapha bribe, what's the other guy's name? I don't even know these committee people. I have never spoken to S.O. Williams. I have never exchanged contact with Agnes Tomasi. So how can we just bribe our way through this? I think people need to be realistic and also understand the fact that it doesn't have to be just you all the time. I mean, I was not awarded, but I celebrated this gentleman. Man tamuno na fear man awma award Mustapha suma staff la momu am li yeb man awma ko.
Yeah, but like I said, the conversation is Kerr Fatou versus the Fatou network. People seeing you. I am showing things on your page, like I said, in which here you posted Bine Bojang. My bodyguard was on point last night.
Let's just clear that. Let's just clear that.
Yes.
Let's just make that clarification. I, Fatou Toure, I'm not competing with nobody. You know what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to play my part. I am just trying to play my part in the society. I came here less than 1.5 years ago, and I had a dream. The dream was to just come and do a show, the Kerr Fatou show, invite my friends and talk about issues. And this turned into a network. And I am happy that we are growing steadily. We are doing our part. We are not the best and we cannot be the best, but we are trying to do what we can do in our society. We are not in competition with Gambia Talent. We are not in competition with iAfrica. we are not in competition with any other network. We are just trying to do our part.
Any other network you wouldn't mention, the Fatou network. You mentioned Gambian
No,
Talents, you
even the
mentioned
Fatou
Africa.
network.
Why wouldn't you mention any other network? Why wouldn't you mention Fatou network? People say you had an issue with Fatou Camara.
I swear I have nothing against the Fatou network. Why would I have anything against the Fatou network? They've been here for the past couple of years, and they have played a big role in what we are today. So why would I have anything against the Fatou network? It's just unfortunate people make things out of where there's nothing. I don't have anything against the Fatou network. That is the honest truth.
Yeah, but you and Fatou Camara are not in good terms. You used to be good friends, but not anymore, and that is why people are saying
what has that got to do? But what has that got to do with a work?
That is what people are saying. There seem to be a lot of rivalry, competition. People say, okay, so Fatou network definitely, Kerr Fatou definitely. If Kerr Fatou does this, Fatou network does that. It's like you guys are eyeing each other on a lot of issues from what people are saying. Huh?
That's not the truth. I think people are making up their own assumptions about issues in their head, but that is not the truth. The Fatou network is doing what they're supposed to do according to their vision, and Kerr Fatou is doing what we are supposed to do. We have no issues regarding our work. Everybody has a part to play. You are playing a big part. I am playing a big part. Fatou Camara is playing, another person is playing another part. This is how it's supposed to be. How many times people have collaborated? I have collaborated several times with DRTS, with iAfrica. And I mean, I remember your guys came to my house. Even though I don't do interviews, when you contacted me to say you wanted to do a show, I said yes, because when a media person asks me, no, because I know I always ask other people. So there is no competition here. And we don't want
but then it's the two of you that can take this out, Fatou. I mean, because regardless of what, you and Fatou don't talk right now. Are you guys talking? Are you talking with Fatou Camara?
That has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
No, it is because it's people people are getting confused somewhat, because they see that you have your kabudu, Fatou Camara has a kabudu here and there. It is the reality. Can you guys not resolve your difference, at least for the greater good of the society, and occasionally to collaborate collaboration but at least am that speaking terms in speaking terms the wax yen ñaar. I mean, su ngeen kolante wut sax ku nekk def seen bit but loolu dina is lu bari society. Ñun ñëpp we are in this together. I reach out to you, I reach out to Fatou Camara, yéen ñëpp, whether you turn your back on me, you talk to me or not. Suñ needee pour celebrate leen, we will celebrate you. But suñ amee pour binda something or talk about something about you guys tamit dinañ ko def. Te foog naa ne yéen ñëpp xam ngeen loolu with Pa Ousman. Nothing personal against any of you or any other network or platform. So can't you guys be the same way rather than not being in talking terms at all?
I respect your opinion, and that is your opinion. I think that is personal between us. If we want to resolve it, it's not for anybody to tell us, but we will do it as adults and as women who respect each other, as women who we know each other's value, and as women who have high regards for each other. And that I know, I'm sure that is the feeling from her side as well. So if we need to resolve whatever we have in between us, it's not for anybody to force that, but I think we will do that at our level. But as far as the award is concerned, that's what I want to address here. You just called me about the award. I don't want to talk about personalities. I want us to talk about institutions, if that is okay with you.
Yeah, but then it's the institution. This is what people are saying, though. Because if you look on social media, and I know you've seen this thing, I am not just doing a show to just bring up your name and Fatou Camara. I know your stories with her, the issues that you guys had long time ago. We know that you are not in talking terms, but have I invited you to talk to you about that? But right now, it is actually trending out there, and you have seen these things. So, but anyway, say who won these things. Some people are saying that you won the online platform.
But that is not even true. There was no online platform of the year.
Yes.
There was no online platform of the year. There was no Kerr Fatou as a company itself did not win. It's Mustapha as a journalist who submitted his stories about the categories that he wanted to. I think he won the political reporter of the year and environment and human rights report. And but see, the problem is, but why the issue? Because we won 4, right? But QTV won 3. Why is no one talking about that, Paos? I think it's not also fair. You want to tell me Mustapha is not a fine journalist, Paos?
Mustapha is a great man, and we celebrate him as a living legend. We celebrate him as he is a legend that
I
needs to
think
be celebrated.
I think Paus, hanga lan mo ñaaw tam, right? I really feel bad because hanga lan mo ñaaw, right? Nit ki tam mu hustle mu liggéey def liggéeyam. I know this guy from a very humble background, very hardworking. Mustapha, ñu dañ ko dee tooñ seen ko amul sax jànka. Yow liggéey bi sa laptop bi mooy sa girlfriend. That's what we tell him. So this guy works so hard, and you know, at the end of the day, he's awarded, and people are making it look like he doesn't deserve it. I think that is also very unfair.
But some say he's the vice president of GPU and could have recused himself out of the award instead of submitting thing. You cannot be organizing something and awarding yourself. That is what some people are arguing. He's the vice president of GPU. He's always seen making videos and submitting press release or putting out press releases on behalf of the GPU. Some people say you cannot organize something and award yourself.
But do you understand that as he's the vice president of the GPU, but the GPU, there's an awards committee which other people are part of.
I have just spoken to Musa Ceesay. He's the one in charge of that, and he has broken that down for us. Musa Ceesay was on my show, and he has broken that down for us.
So that's the thing. That's what I'm trying to say. Mustapha has no hand in the award. And even you think, okay, let's just break this down. You think if it was all about awarding people that are going, you think Sheriff would want Kerr Fatou to win over Chronicle, a company that he's heading?
He said it. He said you are his competition. He said that in my interview with him.
No,
he said you are his
So how would Sheriff want Kerr Fatou to win over a company? So you know what happens these days, my Sheriff, you know? So Sheriff is my very good friend. So before, if I have a big guest coming, I will call Sheriff Nebo. Sheriff, I want them, you know, let's work together so that I can get good questions. Now I get guests, I don't tell him because the Maragal Mudem guest interview ko. Like today, right? Maragal example, like today. So the Mokol Sheriff, I wanted to talk to him because I have Bibi Dabo. I'm interviewing Bibi Dabo tomorrow, right? So I thought about calling him to say, hey, we need to exchange notes because I need to do this big interview. And then all of a sudden he was like, I'm editing my Bibi Dabo interview. Ceesay, I just got pissed off. I got pissed off because he got it before me. And he did not tell me. And normally Sheriff will tell me these things. So he didn't even tell me. So you know that even though we are friends, that competition, little competition is still there. Even though we are friends, that little competition is still there because Kune Kangi Buga win. So I'm just giving you this scenario. Sude Sheriff, more than Jihe Award, or Nama Orianane, Chronicles, more than Opale. Because Kuneka, Danga Buga, you Poneka, don't win that today. Mola Genal. So it doesn't make sense. Why would Sheriff want us to win over Chronicles? It doesn't make sense. It does not. So I think people should understand that, you know, yes, I have respect for people's opinion, but I also want us people to understand that when people work so hard to get to where they are, they should be celebrated. And I think Mustapha is a fine reporter who struggles to get to work. As we speak, Mankoba is the office day. And he's telling me, I'm doing this story, the mother for story, the mother flee. So this is the guy who worked so hard to get to where he is today. And all we can do if he gets this award is to celebrate him. But I am not going to be working with somebody who I'm award and I'm not going to celebrate him, especially knowing the kind of job he does. I mean, so unfortunate. But, you know, so unfortunate.
Thank you very much. The final words to my viewers and listeners.
Thank you for reaching out. But, you know, I think you're doing a great job and I do appreciate this conversation. I think it's about time we have these conversations. But once more, I want to congratulate Mustapha. I want to tell him to keep his head up.
Tedubai congratulations. The problem before Fula. Guy, you know.
Why you pause?
Don't let go ahead.
Look at my bike, congratulations. No boy,
guy, you know, Charlie Fufula. Guy, you know, Charlie Fufula. Go buy. Post gear. Congratulations.
Why not weekend? Hang 1 week last Sunday la moje. May ma Sunday rek. Then stop congratulations. Why until Sunday I'm celebrating him. But thank you so much for reaching out. I mean, we do appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Fatou Toure. That was Fatou Toure, the CEO of the Kerr Fatou Network, Kerr Fatou newspaper online platform. We spoke to Kerr Fatou Fatou. I contacted her earlier, and she told me she was having an interview. Obviously, we are in this together. You've all heard what Fatou Toure said. Now it is simple and straightforward. We just need to be able to settle our differences. Regardless of what it is, this is not something we can sweep under the rug. It's unfortunate that the Gambian media who are affected by this are actually not even talking about it a lot. And I'm saying this because, as you can see, when I reach out to all the players in this, none of them seem to have been approached by other media houses, or they have their own platforms. Or I can understand you may not be able to go to your own platform to talk about this. But did other media houses reach? When I reached out to Sheriff, he told me the same thing. I haven't heard or seen any other person, whether Fatou Camara, whether Kerr Fatou Toure, whether Lamin Jai or any of them. I did not hear any of them having interviews or being contacted, or media houses taking this thing up and talking about it. And it is very important. This is something important that we need to be able to talk about. We cannot sweep it under the rug. The Kerr Fatou versus Fatou Network competition is out there. People are talking about it. People are calling this, okay, Fatou Toure and Fatou Camara, they have this rivalry between them and are doing everything possible to bring each other down. Is that the case? We've heard from Fatou Toure. We just need to be able to open up. Like I said to Fatou Toure, and I will encourage and challenge Fatou Camara to do the same thing. They need to get out of this box. We have people that are following us, and the people will get confused. The two of them would not do justice to the people by having this enmity, rivalry, whatever you may call it. Nenjubo, suñ amut callante, if they don't call each other, to be talking to each other, to be interacting and demalante ñowalante, if that is not possible, if they are not doing that, let them just be in peace. I'll give a clear example. Fatou Camara settled her difference with Mama Linguère Sarr. They were great friends at some point. They broke up and had issues at some point. Right now, we see them share things at some point online. Ñi see nekk ci diggante bi nak, they are the ones ñuy sona, because Bakanegi Fatou Toure, Bakanegi Fatou Camara, at the end of the day, if the two of them were to resolve their difference, yen I sona, yen I am problem. Just like in the case of Mama Linguère and Fatou Camara, people that were holding brief for Fatou Camara or that were holding brief for Mama Linguère, right now, where are they? Where are those people who were between them? Di jaxase seen diggante. So these are the type of things that we need to stop. It's people who reach out to Fatou Camara. It's people who reach out to Lamin Jai, not knowing that this award, people were supposed to apply for it, just like Musa Ceesay and Sheriff Bojang broke it down for us. You were supposed to apply. You didn't apply. You're not expected to have anything. We were setting up in Gambia. We didn't have. We didn't feel like we have anything that we can put out there. I mean, to apply for the award. Even the day of the award, when we congratulated them on the messages, some people were asking, okay, what did Gambian Talents win? Unfortunately, Gambian Talents didn't submit anything. Why would we win? But should that make us cry foul or cry wolf or, rant about anything else? People will ask questions. Whatever the case is, if you did not apply, you should be able to know that you did not apply. Now, Fatou Camara went through pressure from her loved ones, and it triggered her to came public and wrote something. It is very important to clear the air sometimes, but it's nyineka si gannaaw. Why ñoom ñaar, if they are able to help take care of this, then we will not get to this level. So you have heard what the GPU said. Sheriff Bojang has nothing to do with this in his defense. He is not in charge of the award committee. He did not make the decision as to who was awarded or not. A lot of things are against, odds are against him and Fatou Toure because of their connection, their relationship, and how people were seeing them and looking at them and everything. But at the end of the day, they are still, he doesn't have anything to do with this. Now, should he be unfriending and blocking journalists? Jamono ji mom dafa wara passe fofu. He is no longer an ordinary person, and he needs to understand that. We want to encourage him to not take these things personally. What happened between him and Lamin Jai happened. He had presented it to the world that he has apologized to Lamin Jai, and that is finished. But then if you apologize to somebody, the next minute you block that person, honestly, to me, that is not genuine apology. So Sheriff, we challenge you to actually understand that your position is this and you cannot be holding your personal stuff as private, because anything you do, and we all go through that, and I know you know it. Now, anything Sheriff does is going to be capped or put on the GPU and the Chronicle. These are the two institutions you manage, just like you said. I manage Gambian Talents, and anything I do, people attribute it to Gambian Talents. Even if I don't do things, I receive all kinds of hit from the things that my team members do. I receive all kinds of hit. Sometimes some of the things I may not even be aware of when they happen. But I take full responsibility of what is happening. So I am very careful with what I put out there, what I do, because it would represent Gambian Talents, and Sheriff should also be able to know this, that anything he does, he's going to represent the GPU, is going to be interpreted as the voice, the statement, the action of the GPU or the action of the Chronicle, and that is very important. Blocking journalists is not okay. Other personal people you have personal stuff with, one can understand, but this is something that was even related to work, whatever happened. Whether you and Fatou Camara had an issue before, at the end of the day in the back, but we just need to be able to work together. It's going to be hard for Gambia to get anywhere as a nation if the people that are supposed to be the future, if the people that are running things, if the people who have influence, especially media do your fichahan. It is not a joke. You have the most powerful tool that can make and damage people, that can make and damage institutions, that can set the country ablaze. So we better use our platforms and use them wisely. We better use our platforms and use them the right way. We better use our platform to empower, educate, inform, entertain, and help our people to be better. We better use our platforms to get our country out of the mess that we are in. We better use our platforms to make sure that the Gambia becomes the paradise of the world, rather than having the infights, the Demal and Telifin and Tebini. As far as I know, we don't have that beef with any of them. I just told you guys, I contacted Fatou Camara earlier this morning. I was engaging with her. I contacted Fatou Toure. I contacted several people that are involved in this, or who has a hand or a stake in this. We could not talk to all of them, but it is very important. Now, when it comes to the GPU and the award, some of the things that the people say, some of the concerns that are being raised, as far as awarding by Tambedou, as far as the UDP stuff, as far as the Kerr Fatou stuff, we've talked about that. Kerr Fatou Toure said it, Sheriff said it. They have nothing to do with that part. Now, when it comes to the Ba Tambedou issue, Ba is the Minister of Justice. He has helped a lot. The GPU has pushed a lot of buttons from what they said. But then, as some people argued, could they not have just invited him to come and give out an award to somebody? Could they not have just done the standing ovation for him and recognize him rather than giving him an award? It is too early. The Gambia has gone through a lot of the laws and the stuff. It's okay to probably recognize Ba, but at least giving it another year or two to see, because the laws are the most important thing. If he is able to get compensation for the journalists who have been abused or tortured or whatever happened, killed and whatever, it is good, it is great, it is important, but that is just impacting one or two or few people. But what affects all of us together is the laws of the land. If Ba was able to work with the GPU to repeal the laws, or to come up with to pass some of the laws, to make sure that some of the laws that the GPU are submitting or that affect the media are actually enacted and they become laws, then we will all be protected. Like Sheriff himself said on numerous occasions, like Data Fasosa said in her testimony, if these laws remain there, whoever comes again can use these laws to do whatever. We've heard President Barrow over and over said it at his during his functions, in his interviews, that the laws are still here. And yes, he can decide to use the laws and it will be in accordance with the law. Even though an unjust law is no law, but the president can use any of these laws. So could we have put pressure on Ba? Could we have engaged him? Could we have had a good relationship with him by encouraging him, having a standing ovation? I mean, doing other things rather than awarding. An award is something that is big and major, and a lot of Gambian awards, we understand it is new. We understand it's a work in progress and everything. But then we should be able to look into these things a lot more carefully to make sure that whoever we give these things to are people that deserve it. The categories are people that deserve it. Everything else, and I'm not questioning any of the people because we celebrated each and every one of them. But things like, okay, working with the government, These are institutions, like Sheriff said in his interview. Ba has defended some things that we are not defended, that should not have been defended. He is there to protect the image of the government. Is he even open to all the media? Possibly not. Possibly not. So we should be able to recognize things like that. Other people have been awarded in the past. They cannot award everybody in 1 year. This thing is gaining momentum, but whoever kuñ award tamit li olof ñay di wax bul bañ ku la yakal ci gaale xaj waaye buñ la fekk nga see lekka. Whatever the case is, if the an award is given to somebody, let people du ñàkka ne people will question it, but na nekka ne ñi ko question would not be ñu bari noonu. Du nekka ñu bari noonu. People should be able to deserve it. That when they are given something, people will say, hey, wow. And I'm talking about the majority here. Especially the people who know, the people who are involved. So we should be able to set standards in what we do and set better standards when it comes to the coverage, for example, on the day of the event. And this is something that I will say. We as Gambian talents at our level, I will say this as part of the analysis. I have encouraged Musa for them to write officially to the a letter to the institutions. I remember when the Wasta Halat Music Award started, the first year Sister Njai and them did it. That's what they did. Artists just sat and saw their names on the flyers and everything from what they said. Now this is GPU award. The way it is done is different. People put in their submissions, and I get that. I accept that. I recognize that. So the way it is done is different. But then afterwards, when and the artists, some of them claim that Sister just put their name out there. The following year, Sister actually has to officially write to all the nominees to let them know that you have been nominated for this award. Now we are recommending for the GPU as well to also do the same thing. Write to the institutions to let them know. As far as Koina, Basse, Farafenye, everybody need to be involved. We just had an interview a couple of days ago with the people in Basse. If you follow our page, you will see it. A young man was saying that they are not aware of the things that are happening in the country. He was being interviewed about the Tufa Jallo issue. They are not aware, and this is in Basse, that there is a community radio station that GRTS TV probably is getting to. But the people of Basse, some of them are not aware of some of these things. They felt left out. The journalists as well, there are people that are practicing media in the provinces. And not only for them, even those in the combos. If GPU was only relying on, okay, we put it out there, or they went to have a few TV interviews or radio interviews with select radio stations or TV stations or online platforms, that doesn't mean everybody is involved. Now, the flyer for the event itself, it does not have the time that the event was going to start. The flyers that we saw did not have the time that the event was going to start. We contacted them. Khadija Jawara is one person we contact. There's another name of people we contact during the event, and they said they have already started. When did we start? Asking questions, they hung up the phone on us. I sent the reporters. I told the reporters to go and cover the event. And I'm saying it because that is what happened. When I contacted Sheriff earlier today, he told me that I should contact the organizing committee, and he referred me to Musa, Khadija, and them, and Seku, the secretary, executive secretary. When I contacted Seku, he referred me to Khadija. I'm like, okay, I'm getting confused. I contact Sheriff referred me to Seku. I contact Seku referred me to Khadija, and I contacted Khadija. Khadija told me I am only an usher. She would not take responsibility of being an organizer. When I told her I wanted to interview her about the award, which of course I think Musa or one of them confirmed here that she was the coordinator, but she excused herself from it, claiming to have been just an usher. And the last messages I sent her, she never responded. How can you take responsibility of such, and eventually you want to shy away from the responsibility? And it was the president who referred me to talk to you. Sheriff referred me to her and referred me to Seku. And when I contacted Seku, Seku sent me to her as the coordinator, Khadija as the coordinator. we need to be ready for these things. I know we are new in a lot of these things. There is work in progress. It's a work in progress, like they say, but we have a long way to go and we have a lot of work to do at the end of the day. This is what we have for you today as far as this award is concerned. We wish our colleagues have picked it up and write stories about this and engage about this and do research and talk to the public about this. At least whatever the case is, if we had 10, 20, 30 of these discussions, it will enlighten the people, because Sheriff Wahnafilu Amsolo, Fatou Toure said some very significant things, Lamin Jai said some very significant things, Musa Ceesay said some very significant things, and if we have all media houses engaging these people about this thing, Kusine Kasa audience, we will be enlightened somehow, somewhat about this particular issue, and it is about time that we start to take things to the next level. This is the Nyohobai show. Pa Usman Diouf was your host. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel if this is your first time following us. Don't forget to like our Facebook page, Gambian Talents Promotion. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube, Gambian Talents. Don't forget to follow us on Snapchat, Twitter, and Instagram, Gambian Talents. We thank you all for following. We thank you all for listening. Until we come your way next time, it was the Nyohobai show. And please share the video. Dilen Wanyuwai Dina New York Canyon. Nyunglenai Bege till we come your way next time. Thank you very much, and you were listening to the Nyohobai show.
Can also dale lamen kerawan 20 by 20 jiobeje kurangabeje nin sunkaro bunya na la horomo kan iba wafila $200,000 cash ikafumi mfane mortgage ka domoni ninjo katafu kari woro ibo wafila $250,000 Kairosu Properties and Investment Limited ibal content sunkaro Kairosu Properties link us and we make you a home builder.
Iba kuriya munna nafate kuriyala iba jawya munna nafate jawya labi iba kuriya munna nafate kuriyala nafigi la silamanja kula bambali la silamanja uya fala la silamanja ngomari masale bokelela nafigi la silamanja ja kula bambali la silamanja uya fala la silamanja muna ngomari masale bokelela. Yo Gambia ntalam albadi malam nena jeli suso ntele bali janto bi Gambian talent show mamo be tantalam bal jayla albadi malam the queen of manding nena jeli suso the golden voice wow mbal tantalam bal jayla baake bafala le ko albumo kanale December on the Benjamin Hall akana fomo ko mashallah Gambian talent